Right. Who else is ready for Kojiro's perspective, which I'm definitely gonna hate. Just based on the beginning of this pod. Him being so focused on Noriko. I just don't get it. I don't see what he sees in her and why he would fall for her on basically first sight. So yeah, well. Nevertheless, we have to go through with this to finally get to the ending of this game. So let's go, and hopefully Act 2 and 3 are way shorter and we'll get through it immediately. Just, I don't know, make them 2 hour long. I don't care. But I just... I just want to be done with this game. You know, overall, I like the idea behind it. I don't like the execution though. The idea is alright. Guys, shut up. But yeah, the overall writing is meh in parts. It can be okay in others, but most of the time, I don't know. Might be the translation. I have no idea, but yeah. Oh, it is an indie game, so I can't. I shouldn't be judging it on such a high standard, but like take the Aoi thing. We now saw both scenarios play out. With us following her and us letting her be, and then having her call us immediately after. Like, what the hell? But well, and how little of an impact it made overall. You just got an achievement basically and it told you made a bond with this person. Congratulations. Like, okay, don't see how, why, but it doesn't affect the story. It doesn't affect anything, and it doesn't make sense in the Monday after scene when she was supposed to turn up to work at Timujin. So, yeah. That's an oversight. I would hope that they would fix or see and work out, but oh well. This is the only way I can think of to earn her love. I told her I was doing it for corpses, wanted to get my hands on some for myself, but that was a lie. All of it. Why would I need her to acquire corpses? I work at a morgue. I've been stealing them for years. Just needed her to believe she could motivate me, bargain with me, control me. When she achieves her goal, whatever it may be, I'll talk to her, a heart to heart. Maybe I'll even propose. Can't let a girl like her slip away. She's too precious, too beautiful, too brooding and macabre, and we need her. It's as simple as that. Since the first time I laid eyes on her, over a year ago, that day she moved into her apartment. I've kept close by ever since. I must have her. I will have her. I'll do anything for Noriko. Okay. I knew that he was the obsessive type, but good job keeping it under wraps, I guess. Physical labor always makes me hungry. A normal human trait, I would assume. Don't say that to Noriko. She's gonna hate you. I take a seat at the restaurant and place an order once the waitress arrives. Waiting for a meal is boring. I decide to read. Today's book is Faust's photography. I borrowed it from Noriko. She doesn't know. When I flip open the cover, I'm reminded of why I started coming here. I once saw Noriko at this very same restaurant. She was eating omurice and reading Strange Flower. She didn't eat much, 3 mouthfuls, if I recall correctly. But she read her book and until the restaurant closed. Thank you. Well, I hope you have fun reworking them. And my day is going fine so far. I don't know. I'm definitely lacking sleep. That's why I'm currently drinking coffee. And planning to do some more stuff after the stream, so I'm probably not going to stream for long. And regardless, I hope you have fun working on your game and a fun rest of your evening as well. But she read her book until the restaurant closed. I learned then that she's a girl that would rather feed her mind than her body. I'm personally the opposite. I love to eat. But I find Noriko's traits endearing. It's hard not to fall for someone in love with educating herself. You too, you too. Have a nice evening. Bonsoir. Right? Right. My French is so rusty. I don't know if reading a book about someone dressing up a corpse to take them out to eat as educating yourself, but it's debatable, right? It also touched my heart that she chose to read the book I lent her. Come to think of it, I never did get that back from her. It's probably overdue at the library now. Maybe I shouldn't show my face there again. Added to the list of places I can't visit anymore. Shouldn't you get, like, a letter with the warning, hey, your book is overdue, these are the fees you're gonna pay, send to your address, because you have to leave your address at the library as well when you get the library card, membership card. Unless, of course, you gave them an old address. I don't know, probably. I would probably forget to change my address as well. That reminds me. Damn it. I need to drive over. But in my old university town, the city university, was awesome. Not university, library. Was awesome. You could lend yourself some movies, some games, they had everything. And also what are they called? Oh well, but you could basically get everything and you could also download it. But you can only pay for the subscription when you're there, so Although I don't have the time really to read at the moment. Sad. Super duper sad. Oh well. Added to the list of places I can't visit anymore. My meal arrives. Omuraise. I dig in. It's tasty. I assume this is Noriko's favorite. Funnily enough, it was Dad's favorite too. I devour the dish in a few minutes. I like to lick the plate clean. Always earns a funny look from the staff. The heat from the meal has fucked up my glasses. I take them off and wipe them clean on my shirt. Okay, that's not how classes work. Whoever wrote this, please get your physics right. Yes, you can get steam on your classes, sure, but the steam has to be actually hot enough to fuck up your classes for long enough. And omuraise, I'm sorry to say that, but no way in hell is it gonna be hot enough to fuck up your classes. It's only, you know, there has to be a huge discrepancy between the temperature of your classes and the surrounding area, as well as the fog, the mist, the, what is it? Steam is the right word. Damn it. Steam from your drink or food. That's why when you enter anything in winter while you have your classes on, any building, whatever, it's gonna fuck over. Because physics. Oh well.
I know you.
Do you? Thanks to my natural blurry vision, I can't see who sits down across from me. That sounded kinda like Junpei? I quickly return my glasses to their rightful place.
Jimbo, right?
Oh, well, I remember the voice correctly.
Kojiro.
I don't think so.
Trust me. You are?
Junpei Matsumoto.
The rotund stranger offers his hand to me. I don't reciprocate the gesture. I don't know. He comes across as super weird, and he's probably supposed to be coming across like that, but oh well.
Can I help you?
Nah, man, just hanging, you know? Saw you here, wanted to say, what's up? What's up?
I don't know you. I'll be going.
Stay a while. Let's talk about Corpse Girl.
Stranger's words prevent me from standing up. I glare at him.
What about Corpse Girl?
She's killed a lot of people, right? Like a hell of a lot of people.
Okay.
Probably. I don't know.
Come on, man. You're in her crew, yeah? I've seen you lifting at the morgue. You run that white piece of shit van, am I right?
I don't...
Careful now. If I can find you, it can't be that hard for the cops to pinch you.
What do you want?
Seriously, I've been wondering this myself. How have they not found them yet? Or at least Kojiro. How did they not track the corpses down to the morgue where they were lifted from? What are they doing? Why is it taking them so long to catch these people?
Like I said, just wanted to see what's up.
The foul man leans across the table. His hot breath reeks more than the
I
factory.
want to know how you guys do it. How do you get up every morning knowing that there's a killer out there even more powerful and successful than Corpse Girl?
So you're the copycat. I know exactly what he is referring to. I try not to let my face betray me. It's true that Corpse Girl has some tough competition. Around the time Noriko targeted her sister, somebody hacked Corpse Girl's website Ever since then, a new string of deaths have raged across Tokyo like wildfire. Deaths not caused by Corpse Girl. It started off with the copycat killers stealing Noriko's requests. People that were sentenced to death via Corpse Girl's website were found dead before we could reach them. But that didn't last long. After a while, completely unrelated people were being found dead across the city, people whose deaths had never been requested through the website. Because of that, we stopped worrying about it. Noriko was happy as long as her own victims weren't being poached. She didn't care if someone else was running a similar operation, as long as they kept their hands off her prey. I haven't given it much thought since, and then this guy appears out of nowhere. It's pretty damn obvious that he's involved with the copycat killer. I know it's Aoi. Quite sure it's Aoi. He's seen me around, knows that what I've been doing, knows that there are two separate powers out there killing. Doesn't take much to figure him out.
What's your method?
Excuse me?
You kill faster than Corpse Girl. How?
Whoa there, buddy. I don't kill anyone. Here, check this shit.
The guy shows me his phone. There's a web page on the screen. The Human Removal Service. We remove unwanted human beings. Take advantage of our free and efficient removal solutions. Fill in the name and address of a human being you would like removed. It looks similar to Corpse Girl's website, but it's not the same. I read the name of the site out loud.
The Human Removal Service.
Nice, huh?
What is this?
Just read it.
I do as I'm told. There's a paragraph of information below the site's title. We remove unwanted human beings. Take advantage of our free and efficient removal solutions. Fill in the name and address of a human being you would like removed. Following that text is a form to be filled out just like the one on Corpse Girl's website. I think I get it. This is the copycat's own website. They are running an identical operation, accepting user requests for victims' details, and then somehow carrying out killings. But how far do the similarities extend? Are they creating corpse photos to send to victims? Are they forcing victims to kill themselves or carrying out premeditated murder? Are they delivering corpses to victims?
You involved with this?
Nah, just a fan.
Right.
Used to be a Corpse Girl fanboy. That shit was wild. Then I discovered this site. It's so much cooler. More profesh, you know?
The guy leans in once more.
I even used this site once.
What happened?
The guy I wanted to die, he disappeared off the face of the planet within 24 hours. Can you believe it? And they're offering the service for free.
There's no doubt about it. This guy is involved with the copycat and this website. He's here to taunt me, pressure me. He knows who I am, but what's his endgame?
Can I try the site?
Sure, man. Type the web address into your phone.
I retrieve my phone from my pocket and enter the site's address. It loads quickly. The Human Removal Service. I bookmark the site, then scroll down to fill in the name fields.
Is it Matsumoto?
What?
Yes.
I type in Junpei Matsumoto. The next field requests an address.
Where do you live?
Hey, wait just a second. What the F are you doing?
Address, please.
You're a psycho. Don't put in my details.
Why are you worried? Not like the killer will target an accomplice.
Of course not, but still. Such a dick move.
What? Got him. I stand up and pocket my phone.
Later, Junpei.
Freaking weirdo.
His face has contorted into a foul grimace, like he just swallowed something sour. I leave the restaurant. Junpei Matsumoto essentially confessed that he's involved with the human removal service. He agreed that he wouldn't be targeted if I entered his name on the website. He admitted to being an accomplice. Don't know if he figured out what I figured out. Don't care. I need to tell Noriko. July 31st, Friday. She's asleep in the corner as usual. Her laptop is beside her. The power cable is plugged into the portable generator. She's still in the same clothes, still wearing the same old makeup. I wouldn't change a thing about her. How I wish I could lay next to her. Yeah? Unless he's talking about Noriko. I like this part.
Wake up.
She stirs. I extend my hand. And, I don't know. The times I left my makeup on, I went to bed with makeup on. I did not wake up with a whole lot of makeup still on my face. Most of the time yeah, sure, there would still be some left, but it still gets sucked into your skin or rocked off by your pillow or something. So even if you say she's still wearing the same makeup, like 2 days ago, 3 days ago, I don't know. No, there should be pretty much nothing left by now.
Kojiro? It's still early.
Need to talk. It's important.
She rubs her eyes and yawns.
What is it?
Okay, could you stop trying to sound sexy, Noriko?
Look.
I hold out my phone and show her the copycat's website. Her eyes widen as she slowly reads the text. Her jaw drops ever so slightly and she looks at me in shock.
How did you find this? I've been searching for weeks. I've tried so hard to find how the copycat is choosing victims. But there's absolutely nothing about this anywhere.
Met a guy yesterday. Someone involved with the site.
You're kidding.
Serious. Junpei Matsumoto. Big guy. Rude. Unlikable. Knew who I was. Knew about the morgue.
Shit. He knows?
Don't know how. We need to kill him.
How? If he knows our methods, he won't just kill himself when he gets delivered a corpse. He'll just laugh it off.
No, I know that. We really kill him.
Noriko is silent. It's the unthinkable. Something we've never done before. It's very in character that she cannot remember that Junpei Matsumoto is Aoi's boyfriend, although considering how obsessed she is with Aoi, even after saying she's over her, I would think that Junpei Matsumoto would be the name she would pick up out of all of the names presented to her and be like, it's the asshole that took my Aoi from me. Something like that. So, kinda strange.
I don't know if I can.
I can do it.
I don't want to kill the guy. I need to kill him. It's for our own safety. With him alive, our secrets are compromised. He knows me. He may very well know Noriko.
Junpei Matsumoto? Why does that name sound so familiar?
Check his profile.
Noriko doesn't waste any time in bringing up his noise profile.
Oh, shit!
I peer over at her phone. Sure enough, the profile picture matches what he looked like. Hard to forget a guy like that.
This is Aoi's boyfriend!
Aoi, your friend.
Aoi, the girl that Noriko never stops talking about. The cute and shy one. The one I've followed more than a few times out of curiosity. Wanted to see what constitutes a friend of Noriko's. Needed some tips. Is she dating Junpei? Strange match. True that.
Is this for real? I met Junpei some time ago. Maybe last month?
The beginning of this, but... Oh, no, yeah. True. Last month.
I see. Are they still together?
As far as I know, I haven't spoken to Aoi in a while. Wait. I wonder...
What?
Never mind. I need to think some things over.
Okay.
Kojiro, you remember the photo of my sister's corpse, right? Not the one that I crafted. The other one I found on her phone.
Sure.
You remember the instructions written on it?
Stabbed Shuji at the party, right?
Spot on. The copycat must send instructions written on corpse photos. I have a feeling the instructions always relate to killing other people. Other people whose deaths have been requested.
I get it. Kill two birds with one stone. Send one corpse photo to a victim and have them kill another victim. It's efficient.
That's how they've racked up so many deaths so quickly.
Exactly. We can only rely on news reports for the numbers, but... it's pretty clear that the copycat has claimed a few hundred lives in the past month at least.
And we're up to 164.
Yes.
164 deaths caused by corpse girl. But we've delivered twice as many corpses as that. Our success rate is about 50% and it has been dropping rapidly. It would seem that Corpse Girl's rising popularity is having a detrimental effect on our success rate. As public knowledge of Corpse Girl increases, the fear of receiving a corpse decreases. People are starting to figure out how the method works. If they don't cave into fear, they don't kill themselves. It's that simple. In most cases in which the victim has survived, they simply brush off the attempt on their life. They call the police, have the corpse removed, they go on with life.
We haven't been doing so well lately. But the deaths across Tokyo, the ones unrelated to us, are expanding at an exponential rate.
Seems that way.
Then our rival has a more foolproof method of killing. Is it as simple as adding instructions to a corpse photo? Threatening someone with death unless they carry out the instructions? And then, if Victim A receives a corpse photo, follows the instructions, and kills Victim B, how does Victim A also end up dead? Surely it's not suicide at that point. Why follow the instructions to spare your life and then kill yourself anyway? It doesn't add up. How are they killing so many people so quickly?
Don't know.
It's true. I have no idea. I pride myself on always being in the know, but this is beyond even me. However, I do know how to find out.
Maybe I'll pay Junpei a visit. See what information I can extract.
I don't like it, but it may be our only chance. Get as much information as you can from him. Then, dispose of him.
Her words cause a flare of adrenaline inside me. I won't let her down. She has given me a task, an important task. I'll show her what I can do.
On it.
Good luck, Kojiro. And be careful.
Of course. Later.
I'm thankful that Noriko looks away just before a smirk splits my face in half. I take my leave. Quite a bit of time has passed since he went inside the maid cafe. Can't imagine eating a meal takes this long. Unless there's something shady going on, he should have come out by now. My knees are beginning to hurt from crouching. I could stand up, but then I'd be more visible. Crouching at the corner of this alley suits me just fine. My knees should hold. I've a perfect view of the entrance. I've taken note of every single person entering and exiting. But he hasn't come out yet. His noise post from earlier was right on the money. He said he would visit the maid cafe, and sure enough, I watched him enter. It could be he knows I'm tailing him. Whole thing could be a ruse. He might have an escape route. But I already scoped out the alley behind the cafe. There's no other exit. Front only. Could he have climbed out a window? Doubt it. Big guy, not very fit. Even if he'd attempted such a feat, I surely would have overheard the struggle. I'll keep watch here. Can't be that much longer. According to noise, he comes here often. His favorite place. Likely here to meet Aoi. She still works here, according to Noriko. What does Aoi see in him? What does Noriko see in Aoi, for that matter? The girl is boring. Cute, sure, but no outward personality. I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something hard to tell when you only watch from afar. Dude, I do not understand what you see in Noriko. Okay, she's a similar type of character from you, but she is so annoying. But I don't know. All the girl characters in this game are just so straight up annoying. I don't know if the writers of this game just hated women in general. Never met any. I don't know. But it sure seems that way. Or they just are into completely different types of characters than I am. Could also be the case. I don't know. But Aoi... Tomoe is probably the only one that I could hang out with if she dropped that fake accent. That just triggers me so hard. But oh well. There he is. I'll have to follow him. Can't confront him here. Looks like he's heading towards the station. Easy. Here goes. Hikachi. Can't believe this guy traveled to the very end of the train line. This is a parking lot, Kojiro. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but this is straight up a parking lot. Took nearly an hour to get here. If his home is all the way out here, why does he travel so far just to visit a maid cafe? He wandered into this underground parking lot. Ah, okay. So I'm guessing his apartment building is above this little tomb. No one else around.
Hey, is someone there?
Guess I'm not as stealthy as I thought.
Kojimbo?
Junpei Matsumoto.
The fuck? You follow me home, dude?
That's right. Have some questions.
Not cool, man. Could've just DM'd me.
No.
I strode up to him and pressed my chest against his rotund belly. Standing this close, it's easy to see that he's actually younger than I thought. I'm nearly a full head higher than him. Despite his bulky build, I don't think I'd have any trouble crushing him in a fistfight.
Back off, dude. I'm warning you.
I don't think I'll do that. Question 1.
Hey, I ain't playing your games.
Who runs the human removal service?
I ain't telling you that.
Question 2. How are the victims of the website killed?
Fuck you, man.
Question 3.
Shut up!
What is your role? I've listed the questions in order of importance. Please answer.
Junpei pulls his head back and spits in my face. The disgusting glob of saliva dripples down my cheek. I snap 2 of his fingers.
Holy fuck!
The knuckles within his blubbery digits break inside my fist as I bend them in the wrong direction. I savor the sensation of shattering bone grinding against shattered bone as his knuckles splinter and pierce his skin.
Question 1. Who runs the human removal service?
Junpei wrenches his hand away from mine. He clenches his other fist. He looks prepared to launch it at my face. The punch connects perfectly against my jaw. I cock my head a little, riding the momentum of the impact. A tooth comes loose in my mouth. I think it's a bottom canine. I swallow it. Why? Turning my head back, I lock eyes with Junpei.
Question 2. How are the victims of the website killed?
Shit! You want another fist in the face? Ah, my freaking fingers!
Question 3. What is your role?
Junpei tries to lash out with a kick to my shins. He's slow. He's just not cut out for a fight. I step aside and his leg flails limply. Completely off balance, he falls and lands on his rear. I move towards him and stand over his recumbent body.
I've listed the questions in order of importance.
Okay, Kojiro, stop repeating yourself.
Please answer.
Help me! Someone help me! This psycho is trying to kill me!
I can't help but sigh loudly. I run my tongue along my gums, feeling for the gap created by my missing tooth. Definitely a canine that I swallowed. Bit of an inconvenience. Have to get a false tooth now. Wonder if Noriko will think less of me.
Question 1.
Fuck you!
He madly tries to kick at my ankles. His feet slap against mine with no force or pressure.
Who runs the human removal service?
The guttural, beastly growl that spews from his mouth is the desperation of a cornered dog. I don't much believe in kicking someone when they are down, figuratively, nor literally. I kick him in the ribs, and his howl of anguish repeats itself. Sometimes you have to do things you don't believe in. Kick him again and again and again. 1 or 3 of his ribs shatter against the toe of my shoe. It's a crunching sensation like kicking in the ribs of a cadaver. I suppose a comparison isn't really necessary.
Stop! Please!
The slow, desperate play is completely different from the urgent howls of frustration just moments ago. Beaten and wounded, the dog is panting heavily, his tongue lolling against the asphalt.
Question 2. How are the victims of the website killed?
A moment's silence prompts me to prepare my foot for another flurry of kicks. But a meek answer I didn't foresee causes my body to stiffen.
Our Herald. He carries out all the killings personally.
I frown and the motion causes a sharp pain to shoot through my bleeding gums.
Your herald.
The dog spits blood down his shirt and groans.
He's a visionary. A prophet. And he's immortal. He's more powerful than Corpse Girl ever was. Every person targeted by the human removal service is removed by the Herald's hand.
This wasn't the explanation I was expecting. I thought the operation was similar to Corpse Girls. Send a corpse photo to a victim, urge them to kill themselves, or give them instructions to kill someone else. That was what Noriko and I discussed. That was the conclusion we reached. I don't like being proven incorrect. I bring my foot into Junpei's ribs one
Question
more time.
3.
Oops. And he hardly flinches. He simply exhales and absorbs the force.
What is your role?
I think the dog is unconscious. I tilt my neck from side to side and hear a comforting crack and pop that relieves the tension in my muscles. I crouch down and press my fingers to his wrist. The pulse is strong and his breathing is regular. He won't die. Not unless I take action now. I told Noriko I'd kill him. I told her I'd take care of our problems.
Junpei?
A girl's voice, soft and not unpleasant, but worried, terrified. I stand once more to see the concerned face before me.
What did you do to Junpei?
Aoi Sato. Sato, Noriko's friend, best friend, and the girlfriend of Junpei Matsumoto.
Zaz.
I need to leave. Aoi doesn't know my identity. She doesn't know I'm involved with Noriko. If I escape now, Aoi will never link this assault to Noriko. Well, that's option 1. Option 2.
Yes! Get out of here, you psycho!
No, I can't think about option 2. If Aoi gets hurt, Noriko would never forgive me. I can return to finish Junpei another day. I know where he lives now, after all.
Later.
I turn on my heel and leave the sobbing girl to tend to a wounded dog. August 1st, Saturday morning. When I was with Shizuko, I became really fascinated with brewing coffee. She bought me a handheld bean grinder and a French press for my birthday. To thank her, I made frequent trips to the market to buy freshly roasted beans. I would lose track of the hours I spent carefully grinding the beans and aiming to brew the perfect cup. But Shizuko never enjoyed coffee, never had a taste for it. I didn't give up. I kept refining my technique, kept experimenting with different beans and roasts in an attempt to craft something she would find palatable. She died, and I threw the French press in the trash. I just visit the cafe now for my morning coffee. I donated the handheld grinder to this cafe. More specifically, I gave it to the cute waitress here. Maybe it was callous of me to discard the gift that Shizuko gave me. It should have torn me apart to throw away something that symbolized what we had together. 3 years isn't so important in the grand scheme of a lifetime. Besides, I have someone else now. Well, I don't have her, but I want her. Noriko reminds me of Shizuko in some ways. In other ways, they couldn't be more opposite. When the takeout coffee I ordered is ready, I leave my money on the counter and grab the paper cup. A quick sip of the piping hot brew fills me with renewed life. The liquid scalds the area where my tooth used to be. Not much for it. I'll go to the dentist some other time. Coffee in hand, I leave the cafe and make my way to my next destination. Public libraries don't get the credit they deserve in this age. They're quiet, calm, soothing. That doesn't always do it for me, but it's nice to escape the bustle of the city. Plus, they always carry works by my favorite authors, but the librarians don't pay me any mind. I think they're at a loss to recommend books that fit my tastes. I don't feel judged here. Nobody looks at me and wonders if I'm a creep. Nobody cares about my unshaved face or crinkled clothes. Nobody looks at me and asks if I miss Shizuko. I wish someone would ask. Just once. It would be nice to know someone cares, even if I don't. But no one knew Shizuko. No one knows she was in my life, and no one knows she's gone. I haven't even told Noriko about her. I think she has enough on her mind right now. I'll tell her when the time is right. After wandering around the library aisles aimlessly, I pick a tome from the shelf at random and find a couch to sit on. Comfortable at last, I sip my coffee and thumb through the book I've acquired. I think even public libraries bringing outside beverages, especially coffee, is not allowed, but I don't know. Haven't been in a while, and it probably depends on the library as well. It would seem I've selected an autobiography about a famed painter I've never heard of. It will do for now. I'll read anything. I skim through the preface, then the first chapter. My fingers pick up speed as I thumb through the pages, never absorbing more than the first line of any particular page. Boring drivel. I can't read this. Toss the book aside and rest a closed fist underneath my chin. I'm not normally this restless. Usually I'm focused and driven. But it's my birthday, and Shizuko isn't here to get me a gift. Perhaps I regret throwing away the French press. It was the most thoughtful birthday gift I've ever received. Perhaps I just regret losing Shizuko. I don't know. If this were any other day, I wouldn't waste my time dwelling on the past. I thought I was above giving this day more significance than any other. 35. Fuck, where do the years go? Oh, true that. True that. Only 2 more years and then I'm 30. Time really does slip through your fingers. Hell, it's even been more than a year since I met Noriko. Technically, I doubt she remembers our first meeting. I peer around the library and find a smile forming on my face. She probably thinks we met here just a few months ago. I asked her some trivial questions, something about Lovecraft or Cthulhu. Then I introduced myself, but the first time we bumped into each other was at my apartment. Well, her apartment. Oh, Jackson. It was a fully furnished apartment. Didn't have to take much with me when I left. I bet it looks much the same today as it did back then. I returned to collect a few last things. A couple of blankets in the closet, a broom and a dustpan, a few knuckle bones, the usual stuff. And I wanted to say goodbye, one final time. To my surprise, she was there. She was chatting to the landlord, casually inquiring about the terms of the lease. I must have frozen my tracks when I saw her. I know that I spent a good few minutes simply staring at her. She was beautiful, gorgeous, breathtaking. And she looked like Shizuko. She looked so much like Shizuko. She shook hands with the landlord. She said her name aloud, Noriko Kurosawa. Her name stuck in my mind. It replayed over and over in my head. The landlord accepted her offer for the apartment. Noriko would be moving in, making the place her home, my place. I must have bumped my shoulder into her by accident when I tried to squeeze past. She apologized. I apologized.
Zaz was just leaving.
Oh, no, please. It was my fault. I'm very sorry. Did you live here?
Yeah.
I see. Thank you for taking care of the place. I'll be moving in soon.
I see.
Did you like it here?
Yes, very much so. It was home.
I'm glad. I hope that I feel just as comfortable here.
Spoiler alert, no. She's complaining that it's too small everywhere. I don't see why, but, you know, maybe I'm seeing this from the wrong perspective. Having lived almost all my life in basically a room that only fits my bed and barely a very, very tiny table. Maybe my perception of the space in a room is screwed. I don't know. I nodded, but didn't pull my eyes from her face. She walked away after gracing me with a polite bow. The Noriko from back then was healthier than the girl I know now. She's become little more than a skeleton, skin and bones, but her keen mind hasn't keen mind? Really? Oh yeah. And she's still gorgeous, still takes my breath away, just like Shizuka once did. But she refuses to leave the factory. She refuses to return to her apartment. Occasionally, Tomoe will go and fetch the things she needs. Clothes, tiny portions of food, coffee mostly. At some point, I got delegated to selecting the most suitable cadavers from the morgue. Or, so Noriko doesn't have to visit the morgue herself. She gives me a bunch of photos, and it's on me to pick and choose cadavers that best match them. Not my favorite work. It's tedious, and I don't have the eye for detail that she does, but I do what I can.
Ouch.
My phone begins vibrating violently in my back pocket. I didn't realize I was sitting on it.
Yo.
Where the hell are you?
Library.
Don't you have deliveries to make today?
I'm just taking the morning off.
You didn't ask me about that.
I told Tomoe.
Well, she didn't mention anything about it to me.
Saz, I'll see you in a few hours anyway. I just wanted to chill this morning. My birthday.
It's your birthday?
Yeah.
I didn't know. Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Okay, I'll see you this afternoon. Bye.
Later.
She sounded mad at me. Yeah, and she sounds like a person I wouldn't want to be friends with. Seriously. Like, yes, I understand. This delivery was planned, and so she is pissed that he's not where he's supposed to be. But, come on. You could still do that nicer. In my defense, I haven't taken a day off from Corpse Girls' work for weeks. Didn't think taking this morning off would be too much to ask. Apparently it rubbed her the wrong way. Yeah. And that should give you a hint that this relationship, even if it were to come true, would not work out. She's only thinking of herself. Noriko is the most important, and Noriko is the only thing that matters. Or Corpse Girl in her mind. So, just give up, Kojiro. Find someone that actually wants to be with you. But juggling this work as well as my morgue duties is tiring. Don't get much time for myself. Don't get much time to think. Probably why Shizuko's face doesn't pop into my mind as much as it used to. My theory, anyway. I drain the remains of my coffee cup. After returning the unread book to the shelf, I leave the library.
I'm home.
I close the front door behind me. My place is always dark. The tiniest sliver of sunlight filters in from a gap between the closed curtains. I like it this way. I spend countless nights underneath the unholy lights of the morgue. That fluorescent glow messes with my eyes. So I keep my apartment dark. It's comforting. The place is small, smaller than my last apartment, at any rate, Noriko's apartment. A tiny living space, 1 bedroom, 1 kitchenette. The bathroom is pitiful, a half-sized tub with a shower head above it, a toilet, no sink. I need to use the kitchen sink after finishing my business. But it's home. Moving here after deciding to leave my old place was the change I needed after Shizuko died. I threw away so much of my life from back then. I'm almost a completely different person now. Almost. I've kept my habits, mannerisms, the parts of me people find weird or off-putting. Can't help it. That's just who I am, how I am. All those quirky attributes that Shizuko couldn't stand, they're still with me. She's gone, and I'm still here.
Come on.
Shake my head at the sound of my own voice. What a birthday. What a pointless day. Dwelling on the past doesn't suit me. I moved on from Shizuko a long time ago. I'm only stuck on her today because of my birthday. Because this day reminds me of that damn French press she bought for me. But it's gone now. And she's gone too. All that remains is me. That's the way it always has been. Probably the way it always will be.
Enough. Time for work.
I don't feel like staying in and relaxing. I shuffle towards the tall, narrow cabinet in the far corner of my living space. I hoist the door open and look at my clean white coat. It's not stained or dusty like the one I keep on display near the window. It's my good coat, the one I reserve for special days, like my birthday. The white coat is resting comfortably on a white mannequin inside the white cabinet. I hate the color white. It serves no purpose. Despite its useless color, the mannequin holding the coat does serve a purpose. It carries my treasured possessions. Perhaps mannequin isn't the most fitting word for it, but it will do. As I grab my coat, the sleeves catches on the mannequin's fingers. I tug at it gently and manage to release the coat from the mannequin's bony limb.
Later.
Habit of mine to say goodbye to my empty room. To empty rooms in general. Used to be funny when rooms were truly empty. Not so funny anymore. Not when that face stares back at me from within the cabinet. Nothing to do about it.
Happy birthday!
Thanks.
I don't have a gift for you. I'm sorry.
All good.
Noriko runs her hand along her opposite arm shyly, not like her to act so awkward and embarrassed.
I just didn't know. That's all.
I know.
She seems truly disappointed in herself for not knowing about my birthday.
I looked at my noise feed, and it even has a notification that today's the day. I'm sorry. I don't have a reasonable excuse.
It's fine. Really. What's on the agenda today?
I want to break away from this discussion. I hate my birthday. I hate Shizuko for leaving me. Noriko sweeps a stray strand of hair behind her ear and contemplates the question.
12 deliveries. Tomoe has already prepped the bodies. She's waiting in the van. I've sent the photos to the victims.
Only 12 today?
We're not getting many new requests. All of today's deliveries are just part of our backlog. There aren't many corpses left here, actually. We've managed to work our way through most of them. Have to visit the morgue again soon.
I see.
Things seem to be slowing down. Copycat is stealing our business. I just know it.
Maybe.
Oh, that reminds me. Whatever happened to Aoi's boyfriend?
What do you mean?
I can't believe I forgot about it. You were going to kill him.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow I'd forgotten about that too. Caught up in my own head today. Junpei Matsumoto.
Is he dead?
Unlikely.
Noriko's pout prompts me to explain.
Heard him good, but Aoi arrived before I could go further.
Shit. Did she see you?
Yes.
Yeah. She doesn't owe me, though.
I suppose. Wait. You didn't hurt Aoi, did you?
The tone of panic in her gasping voice is impossible to disregard.
Of course not.
Howie's innocent, you know? She can't get caught up in all this.
I know.
I'd never hurt a friend of Noriko's unless they hurt me first. Self-defense or something.
So, what do we do about Junpei? If he's still alive, he knows that you're involved with the morgue and with Corpse Girl.
Don't know. Actually, he did say something interesting.
What did he say?
I quote, "Every person targeted by the human removal service is removed by the Herald's hand." End quote.
The Herald? Who the fuck is the Herald? Did you mishear? Was it supposed to be Gerald?
Gerald of Rivia.
Herald. Apparently some prophet. A visionary. Junpei says he's immortal.
Immortal? You're not serious.
Every killing is carried out by him personally.
What the hell? How is that even possible? How can someone kill so many people without getting caught?
I shrug. My tongue subconsciously licks the gap where my tooth once was. Oh! That is such a thing. I don't know. my teeth were never severely crooked, but I do have a slight gap between my front teeth. So whenever nothing else to do and I'm lost in thought, I love to play with that gap. I don't know. I think that's just a very normal thing to do. And the light in the floor outside is triggering me, so I have to turn it off. I'll be right back. All right. Oops. Let's go.
Guess he's good.
What a pain in the ass.
Anyway, I'll take care of those deliveries.
Thanks. I'm going to try and dig up something.
Dig up?
Not literally. Information. Online.
Had me excited there for a moment.
Don't worry. You'll be the first person I tell if I decide to go digging up bodies.
Thanks.
I throw Noriko a lazy wave and take my leave.
You finally good to go?
Yeah.
Good. I want to get this over with.
Okay.
Oh, happy birthday, by the way.
Thanks.
It's funny to think that Tomoe knows about my birthday. I assume she read about it on Noise, since we're now friends.
Get any prezzies?
Not one.
Lame. What do you like? I'll buy you something.
Really? You'd do that for me?
Of course. You may be a creep, but birthdays are the best. Everyone deserves a present.
I think she's being nice. I'm not a fan of being called a creep.
Well, I'd like a French press.
Would I?
What's that?
Otta.
A coffee press.
Oh, I know those. Yeah, sure. I'll order you one. Cool?
Cool. Thanks.
Sure. Happy birthday, Kojiro.
Surprisingly, she steps forward to give me a short hug. It feels nice. Contact. She's warm, not like Noriko or the way I imagine Noriko to be. Her hair smells wonderful, like coconut. I'm not sniffing it on purpose. I'm not trying to play up to my reputation as a creep, but it's impossible not to smell it when we're this close. Her fingers tap against my back a few times, and then she releases the hug. The smile is warm as her touch spreads across her face.
Come on, let's get going.
Yeah.
Tomoe opens the van's driver's side door and scoots inside. As the door shuts behind her, I can't help but entertain the thought of what she would be like to have as a girlfriend, a partner, a lover. She's nicer than I originally thought, heart's in the right place. But she's not Noriko. I shake the fleeting thoughts from my mind and urge myself to get on with things. Okay, just based on his thought process with Shizuko, I think he's not really after Noriko because it's Noriko, but because she looks like Shizuko, or did look like her, and then he discovered her interesting side. And that's when he fixated more on her than he did his dead girlfriend. But yeah, I still would think that it's not Noriko he's actually looking for, it's still Shizuko. Delivery time. August 2nd, Sunday night. Morgue duties have felt mundane lately. Boring. Pointless. Lots of things I'd rather be doing. Had to come in early today thanks to an influx of deceased patients from the hospital. Bodies get passed through the hospital halls on Lantern Myla, unceremoniously. They need tagging, need to be added to inventory, need to be stored. Cadavers are needier than some people. Don't know where I'm going to store this lot. Running out of room in this place. Only a handful of cold chambers still available. I can't thank the human removal. I can thank the human removal service for that. This isn't the only morgue in the area, but it's one of the biggest. A lot of cadavers end up here. A lot of victims. Weeks ago, I used to smile every time one of Corpse Girls' victims entered this hollowed place. Hollowed? Well, it was kind of poetic. Noriko cherry-picked corpses from this morgue. Those corpses were delivered to victims. The victims died and they ended up here as fresh cadavers, ready to repeat the cycle. It was beautiful. The cycle of death. Now it's rare for Corpse Girls' victims to arrive. More common are the victims of the human removal service. At least, that's my speculation. When multiple homicide victims arrive on your doorstep every day, it's not hard to piece things together. Lacerations, dismembered limbs, rope marks, bludgeoned skulls, myriad mortal wounds inflicted on the flesh. I always suspect Corpse Girls' copycat was behind the sheer amount of deaths raging across Tokyo. Seeing the fruits of the copycat's labor firsthand has convinced me that we are not dealing with simple suicides. And Junpei Matsumoto's words still ring clearly in my ears. Our herald, he carries out all the killings personally. It all adds up. Corpse Girl has truly met her match. While the human removal service continues to claim countless lives, Corpse Girl's success is rapidly declining, much to Noriko's chagrin. Corpse Girl has become so well known that the general public no longer fears her. Like a figure from folklore or fictional character, everybody knows the name Corpse Girl, but only the truly gullible believe she can kill people. I call it the Bloody Mary effect. If someone is predisposed to believe in a horrific entity, they will convince themselves that said entity truly exists. when targeted by Corpse Girl, such a person will succumb to suicide in an attempt to escape a potentially more grisly fate. In reality, they simply play right into the trap that Corpse Girl laid for them. Those that treat Corpse Girl as no more than an entertaining piece of folklore, like Bloody Mary, are immune to the fear. Someone like this can receive a photo of their own corpse and shrug it off as no more of a threat than a spam email. It's iconic that the success Noriko sought for so long was the very thing that has rendered Corpse Girl's methods ineffective. I wouldn't say all of this to Noriko's face. She is well aware of the situation. As for the human removal service, no one seems to know about it. There's no mention of it anywhere on the internet. Anywhere I can access at any rate. Police investigating the string of homicides haven't mentioned it. If the site relies on users to request deaths, I am at a loss as to how people are learning about it. It truly seems to be some sort of shadow organization, except for the fact that Junpei Matsumoto essentially walked right up to me and revealed himself. I don't know his motives for doing so, and I don't know how he found out I'm involved with Corpse Girls' work. I really should take care of him. August 3rd, Monday morning. A knock at the door. I rub my eyes and sit up slowly. Must have fallen asleep in my chair again. Still groggy, I get up and look through the front door's peephole. A single, lonely package sits on the doormat. Don't know where it came from. Haven't ordered anything online lately. I swing the door open and pick up the plain brown parcel. Something rattles inside. Bringing it indoors, I slip my thumb underneath the packing tape and tear it open. Nestled on a bed of packing foam is a white box adorned with the image of a French press.
A coffee maker.
Tomoe. That's right, this is a gift from Tomoe. She really bought me a birthday gift. Something that I truly wanted. My friend Tomoe. After putting the package down, I retrieve my phone and open up Noise. Thanks for the birthday gift. Present. You got it already? Just now. It's a good brand too. Sweet, glad you like it. Maybe I'll brew up a coffee one day. Yes, please. Extra sugar. I'll brew you. You got it. Tomoe doesn't send a follow-up message. I take that to mean the conversation has expired. It feels good that she did such a nice thing for me. Almost forgotten that it's what it's like to have someone care. Pity she has a boyfriend. Never stops going on about him. Regardless, it doesn't matter. I should misconstrue a kind gesture as affection. Shouldn't. She was simply bestowing a birthday gift. True, but it still shows that she actually cares more than Noriko, who was like, yeah, well, I just saw it on Noise, but I didn't get you anything. Why? But happy birthday anyway. Like, she could have still asked, hey, do you have something that you want? Oh. Maybe I can buy it for you, I can get it for you, or we can go shopping together, something. But yes, she wouldn't go shopping with him, but you know, she could still order it online. But, yeah, well, I guess just too much to ask as always. Something most people would do for a friend. Something Noriko didn't even attempt. Yeah, thanks for realizing that. Don't know how to break down Noriko's barriers. Been trying for a long time, she just never seems to warm up. Maybe chasing her is a lost cause. Yes! Give it up, please, Kojiro. Stop you the trouble. But I'm tired of being lonely. I'm so very tired. But following someone that does not want to be with you does not make you less lonely. I would think that makes you more lonely. Sure, you get the chance to hang out with her and her friends, but does that really alleviate your loneliness? Hanging out with people you don't know? I don't know. Don't think so. Sure, you got to know Tomoe a bit better, but oh well. Noriko, Tomoe, I don't care. If either of them would accept me, I would give them everything I am. I just don't want to be alone anymore. The start of another long night. Alone, like always. The cadavers can hardly be called company. They don't speak, don't laugh at my jokes. Not like living people laugh at my jokes anyway. Beep bop.
Yeah?
Hey, I think I mentioned this a day or two ago, but our reserves have pretty much dried up.
Okay.
Reserves. She means her stash of corpses at the factory. She has a way with words.
Anyway, 3 new requests came through today. I'm really excited. Maybe things will pick up again.
Maybe.
I'll send through photos of the Vicks. Can you select some corpses that resemble them? Tomoe will come by with the van.
Okay.
Thanks. Are you okay? You're pretty quiet. More than usual, anyway.
I'm fine.
I see. Well, thanks. I'm sending the photos now. Message me when you're done. I'll send Tomoe over.
Yeah.
I end the call and return my phone to my pocket. It vibrates 3 times in quick succession as Noriko's photos automatically download. 3 requests. Not much, but enough to lift her spirits. I scan the array of cold chambers lining the walls. This place is packed to the gills. Shouldn't be a problem to find some matches for her. I take a stroll alongside the left row of chambers. All of the bodies within are due for cremation. I can take my pick from here, just like always. Business as usual. I fish my phone out once more and examine the new photos. 2 women, 1 man, middle-aged, young adult. Normal, everyday people. Corpse Gorer will wrap her fingers around their throat and try to kill them. Will they shrug off the attempt on their lives? Time will tell. I'll do my best to help Noriko end their lives. I wander towards the computer at the end of the room and lock in to the inventory system. Time to find some suitable bodies. August 4th, Tuesday afternoon.
The corpses you picked out are good. 2 of them, anyway.
What's wrong with the 3rd?
He looks a bit too old. Older than the victim, at any rate.
I see. Sorry.
It's not a problem. I think it'll still be convincing.
Are we delivering them today?
No, I received even more requests overnight. I need you to go select more cadavers.
Sheesh. Again?
Sorry. Aren't you happy that we're busy again?
Couldn't care less. I'm only doing this for you.
It's the truth, even if she doesn't want to hear it.
I heard that Tomoe got you a birthday gift.
Yeah, she's a better friend than you are.
Way to change the subject.
I'm sorry. I'm supposed to be your friend, and I was just so caught up within my own head that I couldn't be bothered with your birthday.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine.
No, it's not. It's not fine.
So, if you'll accept a late gift, is there anything you would like?
A date. With you.
Anything else?
No.
You're being awfully forward today. I thought we agreed to just be friends. What's gotten into you?
Nothing. Forget it.
I have to look away from her to prevent her from seeing the snarl on my face. Oh, poor Kojiro. But I told you, you should not hang around with her if you cannot, or you know that you can't have her. It's also kind of weird. I know age gap relationships are a number for themselves. Well, really depend on the people involved. But I don't know. She's almost 20 years, I think 15 years younger than you. And she's just not mature enough to be with someone so much older, at least in my eyes. And yes, in this case, Kojiro definitely isn't very mature in the societal sense of being mature, but she definitely needs someone that is ready to settle down and devote themselves to him, and he will never get that from Noriko.
I'll go pick out some cadavers for you. Later.
Okay. Bye.
I step away and mutter to myself.
Stupid.
I'm so stupid. Why am I acting so desperately around her all of a sudden? Because you are, Kojiro.
Yo.
Let's face it.
What kind of hello is that? Frick.
Sauce. In a mood.
Always the case with you, ain't it?
Seems to be.
She gets me.
Listen, how about that cup of coffee you promised me?
Huh?
You know, come on, don't make me say it. You said you'd brew me some coffee with that French press thing. And, well, I could really use a cup, you know.
Oh, yeah. I remember. Zaz, Noriko has sent me to the morgue.
Why? She kill ya?
No.
Takes me a second to get that she's joking.
Oh.
Tomoe smiles warmly and waves a finger in the air.
I'm gonna go ahead and guess that it ain't every day a pretty girl offers to have coffee with ya. So are we doing this or what?
I can't fathom a reason for Tomoe's recent shift of attitude towards me. When we first started working together, she could hardly tolerate being in the same room as me. Now she wants me to brew coffee for her. Why? Does she want something from me? Is she in love with me? No, she's not. Definitely not. No one loves me. Even so, I don't want to be alone. How can I refuse her offer?
Okay. I can put off the morgue until later.
You finally came to your senses, huh? Well, come on then. Let's go to your place. I'll drive.
My place. The last time a girl visited my home, it was back when I lived in Noriko's apartment. Back when Shizuko. Sucking my tongue serves to distract me from the painful memories.
Let's go.
Maybe you should let her wait in the car until you cleaned the room before you let her in?
This is your place, huh? It's freaking dark in here.
Zaz.
You a vampire or something?
Of course not. I was just outside in the sun with you.
True that.
Tomoe looks around the small room and stands uncomfortably by the wall.
You don't bring girls back here very often, do ya?
No.
Maybe if you made the place look more appealing, then girls just might want to come back here.
You're here.
Sure, but I'm complaining, ain't I?
True. Why are you here anyway? It's not for coffee, is it?
You're a sharp one, ain't ya? Listen, I wanted to talk to you away from, you know.
Your boyfriend?
No! Jeez! Away from Noriko!
Oh,
See, this whole thing's been going downhill, wouldn't you agree? All the shit with trying to make people off themselves? Sure, I'm used to it by now, but shit started to hit the fan.
how so?
Well, there's the business with, what was it? The human removal service?
Noriko told you about that?
Yeah, of course. We're besties, you know? They've been out there killing and killing, and the police want to shift all the blame onto Corpse Girl. After all, Corpse Girl is the only killer that has gone public. Her name and website are written all over the body bags we deliver. People talk, and everyone knows about her. So, of course the police are gonna assume she's behind all the murders. Except, she's not. Not really. A handful of them here and there, but even then, they're just suicides. Corpse Girl. Noriko. She ain't out there slashing necks and drowning people and setting houses on fire. She ain't doing any of that shit going down on the news.
I know all this.
Yeah. I'm just saying... If things keep up at this rate, the cops are gonna find her, Noriko. And she's gonna get locked up for life. I ain't gonna lie, she deserves it. The stuff she's doing is messed up. Thing is, me and you, we're accomplished.
Accomplices?
Yeah, that. We're in neck deep. If Noriko gets put on ice, we get taken along with her.
I see. You're worried about going to prison.
Of course I am. I've got people to take care of. What would Shinya do if I got locked up? What would he think of me? Not to mention my little brother and sister.
Tomoe's crestfallen countenance makes the room feel darker than it truly is. Her watery eyes break away from mine and she tries hard to restrain herself from sobbing.
I can't. I don't think I can do this anymore. No matter how much she pays me, I just can't keep risking it.
I understand. This is difficult for her. She's torn between loyalty to a friend and her own freedom.
I think your course of action is clear.
It is?
Yes. You need to step away from the game. It won't do us any good if you're not totally invested. You can make a fatal mistake that has consequences for all of us. If you're not committed, not focused, it's best that you part ways with Noriko.
Guys, let's be honest here. Oh, hey, Paisukis, how you doing? Erika isn't here right now. Maybe she'll jump in later, but she's busy with her boyfriend nowadays. But yeah, let's be honest. If the police haven't caught on to you yet, they never will, because apparently they're incapable of tracking back the corpses, the doubles, you know, to the morgue, where Kojiro apparently 90% of the time works, except when he helps Noriko. So, I don't know, we're kinda weird. Yeah, the boys. But yeah, well, I can understand that she's afraid of getting caught. But look, The police definitely isn't doing their job. Or it's not doing it right, at least.
You know, you really are more understanding than you look. I thought you were a total social outcast with no feelings or empathy.
Thanks.
Let me finish. I was wrong. You're all right, Kojiro. I'll take your advice. I'll talk to Noriko and tell her I ain't cut out for this anymore.
It's for the best. I guess we won't hang out anymore.
Do we ever hang out?
Well, our deliveries, our time at the factory. Dunno. Kind of grew to like it.
Kojiro. Oh, shit. I forgot. There's something I still need to do for Noriko.
What's that?
She asked me to go to her apartment and pick up some clean clothes for her. I owe her that much at least. You wanna come with me?
Her apartment?
Noriko's apartment. My apartment. Not anymore. I haven't lived there for a while, but it will always feel like mine. I wonder if there are any old memories to find between its walls.
Okay, I'll come with you. Do I need to break any windows?
No, of course not. Noriko gave me her keys.
I see.
You sound disappointed.
I shrug and let her accusations slide. I didn't expect a flood of mundane recollections to drown my mind as soon as I started climbing the staircase. This place has such a hold over me. My past life, my life with Shizuko. It's so foggy, but so familiar. I don't even feel like the same person I was back then. But of course, I'm the same. I'm still me. And the stench ingrained in these walls.
Every time I come in here, it smells worse and worse. What is it?
Don't know.
Mold? Mildew? No, it's more sickening than that. It's something wrong.
Yuck! Anyway, her place is up just a few more levels.
I know.
Oh, you've been here before? Huh.
Tomoe abandons her thoughts in the air and continues to climb the stairs. When we reach the landing below Noriko's floor, a young girl's voice rings out.
Hello? Daddy?
It doesn't take long to identify the owner of the voice. A girl, no older than 7, is knocking repeatedly on the door of an apartment. She notices our arrival.
Who are you?
Kojiro.
Hello there. My name is Tomoe. What's your name?
Momo.
Nice to meet you, Momo. Do you live here?
Mm-hmm. The door's locked. I can't get inside.
I see.
Somehow, the girl has locked herself outside her own apartment.
Is your mommy or daddy home?
I think Daddy is home, but he won't answer the door.
Let me try, okay?
The young girl hesitantly nods, nervousness evident on her features. Tomoe slams her fist against the apartment door, unafraid of holding back her strength.
Yo! Anyone home up in here? Hello? Anyone there?
After a good 30 seconds of pounding the door, Tomoe puts her hand on her hips.
Are you sure your dad is home right now?
I think so. He was here right before I went outside to play.
Tomoe grimaces and looks me dead in the
You
eyes.
don't think something happened, do you?
Don't know.
Maybe don't say that right in front of the girl. I crouch down and rest my weight on one knee so that I come face to face with the girl.
What's your dad's name?
It's Kenji.
Kenji, huh? And what was he doing before you went to play?
Momo twiddles her fingers uncomfortably. Her expression turns thoughtful as she tries to remember.
He was watching TV.
I see. Thank you.
I stand back and turn to Tomoe. She raises an eyebrow as if in disbelief of the polite persona I adopted to talk to the girl.
If he's got the TV on, it might be too loud for him to hear us. Anyway, I'm sure he'll open the door soon.
If the walls are as thin as Noriko said they are, shouldn't you hear the TV if it's so loud that he can't hear you? Oh well. Logic does not exist in this game after all.
We should go up to Noriko's.
You're unbelievable. I ain't leaving this girl here. What if something bad happened to her dad?
Don't say that in front of her.
Dad?
No, honey. I didn't mean it like that. Kojiro, we need to get in there.
Tomoe's sentence is cut off as the apartment door suddenly opens. A formidable man, broad-shouldered and with a smouldering expression, now inhabits the open doorway. Uchiha?
Clear the doorway.
He takes one look at Momo and then turns his neck to bark at somebody behind him.
The daughter's right here. Bring her with us. Hurry it up.
The stern man pushes past me in a stumble as I try to get out of his way. I don't like being pushed around, but the sight of half a dozen uniformed police officers shoveling out of the apartment behind him encourages me not to retaliate.
Daddy?
Dragged along behind one of the officers is a handcuffed man in disheveled clothes.
Momo! Oh, thank God! Sweetie, Daddy has to go to the police station for a little bit. I'm sorry, sweetie. I'm so sorry.
Ah! Before he can squeeze out another word, the police officers yank him away from his daughter. So they did catch on. Took them long enough. Holy. Before he can squeeze out another word, the police officers yank him away from his daughter. He is accompanied downstairs and disappears from view within moments.
Daddy! Come back! Daddy!
The final police officer to exit the apartment bends down in front of Momo. He mumbles something to her, then grabs her shoulders in an attempt to steer her towards the staircase.
Let go of me! Daddy!
What the fuck is going on here?
Tomoe takes a step towards the officer, her fingers slowly curling into a fist.
Don't.
I clutch her fist in my own and force her to lower it.
Don't get involved. It's a police matter.
I think she understands my vague warning as she stops struggling against me.
Momo.
The young girl is escorted downstairs and Tomoe stands defeated next to me.
What the hell just happened?
Tomoe is uncharacteristically quiet as she searches Noriko's apartment for clean clothing. Witnessing that man, Kenji, get arrested in front of his own daughter seems to have dampened Tomoe's spirit. Although he's a stranger, I can't help but feel bad for the guy. Don't know what he did wrong, but surely his daughter didn't need to see that going down.
You okay?
Tomoe ignores me as she rifles through Noriko's drawers. I decide to bite my tongue and simply take a seat on the edge of the bed. The first man to leave that apartment, the guy with broad shoulders. He looked familiar, very familiar. Seemed to be in charge of the officers. A detective? Yes, that's it. A police detective. I've seen him on TV a few times lately. He's the one heading up the investigation of the recent homicides. The one accusing Corpse Girl of being the culprit behind the human removal services string of murders. Interesting. Then, the man he apprehended, Kenji. Is he involved with the case? Is he a suspect? Is he the herald? A neighbor of Noriko's? Could it truly be? Could Kenji truly be the leader of the human removal service? I try to connect all the dots in my mind. He lives close to Noriko. He might even be on speaking terms with her. He might have access to Noriko's computer, her website. Could he have been the original hacker, stealing Corpse Girls' requests, the copycat? It all seems coincidental, but it almost makes sense. It's more likely than not that the copycat is someone who personally knows Noriko, someone who has an inside view of her life. But what's his motive? Looked like a normal guy, just a father living with his daughter. What could have inspired him to embark on a killing spree? Actually, for that matter, what inspired Noriko to do the same in the first place? Never mind that, it's irrelevant right now. Kenji, are you the one we've been looking for? Are you allied with Junpei Matsumoto? Are you the prophet, the herald, the one capable of standing toe-to-toe with Corpse Girl?
Okay, I'm done.
I blink a few times and look at Tomoe. She is standing with a pile of clothes neatly nestled in her arms.
Can we get going?
Yeah.
Leaving now is for the best. I want to get home. Want to spend some time with my thoughts. There's a lot of new information to sort through. August 5th, Wednesday morning. Not a morning person, never have been, but running with Noriko has forced me to get up early more times than I can count. Doesn't mean I'm getting used to it, still can't prevent myself from yawning. Doesn't help that last night was a sleepless one. Couldn't convince my overactive mind to take a break. Even distractions didn't help. Couldn't concentrate on reading. Couldn't focus on tidying the apartment. Nothing worked. The same questions kept bouncing around the inside of my skull. When the sun came up, I decided to stop torturing myself and just confront Noriko. Perhaps she has some answers.
Wake up.
I lean over her near lifeless body and whisper sharply. Don't want to scare her awake. Don't want her to ignore me either.
Noriko, wake up.
My whisper becomes more of a hiss and the girl before me begins to stir. She rubs her eyes, a familiar sight thanks to all the times I've woken her up before.
What time is it?
Early. Listen, got some questions for you.
Give me a break.
She sighs, sits up and reaches for a handbag lying next to her futon. After rummaging through its contents for a few seconds, she curses under her breath.
No coffee.
Here.
I toss her a silver can of coffee I picked up from a vending machine on the way here. I know the drill by now. No, Noriko will. She can the can slips through Noriko's slender fingers and comes to rest safely in her lap.
Oh, thanks.
She cracks open the tab and takes a long sip, effectively draining half the contents in one swig.
This is nice.
She thoughtfully examines the front of the can, running her fingers along the embossed logo.
Glad you like it. Now, questions.
Fine, go.
Do you know a guy named Kenji? With a daughter, Momo?
Noriko cocks her head to the side as if this was the last question she expected to hear from me.
Yeah, I know them. They're my neighbors, kind of. They live on the floor below me.
That's right. You on speaking terms?
More or less.
I start away from mine and she takes a moment to think.
Almost sweet. A nice girl. Kenji... We used to talk, but then... Well, I think he's lost respect for me. Let's leave it at that.
I see.
This is weird. How do you know those two?
Suppose it can't hurt to tell her. Tomoe probably will, if I don't.
Went to your apartment yesterday, with Tomoe.
You did?
Had to collect clothes for you. Going upstairs, we saw Kenji get arrested by the police. Lots of cops, and a detective from TV.
Detective? Wait, Kenji got arrested? Why?
Don't know. They took him away in cuffs. Took Momo too.
No. The detective. You're not talking about the one heading up the murder investigations, are you?
It's him. Big guy.
Fujikawa.
Huh? Fujikawa?
Yeah.
Interesting. Didn't know his name before. Detective Fujikawa. Not exactly the type I want to cross. Noriko's shoulders slump.
Poor Kenji. I wonder why he got arrested.
A flicker of realization flashes across her face. Within a split second, Noriko's defeated expression gives way to a hideous, wicked smile. Her eyes narrow and a shrill laugh pierces my ears.
Oh, that's fantastic!
Don't know if she's lost the plot or if she's figured something out.
All those precautions I took, all that preparation, it finally paid off!
Spill it. What are you talking about?
Okay. Right. Listen carefully. When this all started, when Corpse Girl first told me to start killing,
When Corpse Girl first told her, I thought she was Corpse Girl. That's what she always referred to herself as.
I knew that running the website from my apartment was a risk. I knew accessing the database of the deceased could be tracked by anyone watching me. I took certain measures to protect myself. To protect Corpse Girl's work.
What did you do?
I pinned everything on Kenji Ogawa. I used his internet service, his Wi-Fi. I used his address for registering my website. I used his name for every service I signed up to. Everything I did created a trail of breadcrumbs that would point to Kenji in the event that the authorities ever came looking for Corpse Girl.
Devious. Cunning. Noriko planned everything from the start with a great amount of forethought. More concerning is the fact that she wasn't afraid to throw her neighbor to the wolves in order to save her own skin. Still, if I take Noriko at her word, this rules Kenji out as the mastermind behind the human removal service. It couldn't be the herald that Junpei Matsumoto spoke of. He was just a scapegoat. Wrong place, wrong time.
Clever. I'm impressed.
I'm not.
Thank you. It finally paid off. The police will either treat Kenji as the culprit, or release him once they figure out he's not who they're looking for. Either way, they'll be back to square one. And I'm off the hook.
No, you're not. You asked him to share your internet, his internet with you, his Wi-Fi connection with you, so he knows that you were the one that were also using his internet. So, if the police ask the right questions, he will point to you, idiot Noriko. If you were trying to, try and hide your traffic, I guess, you maybe should have tried to hack into his Wi-Fi instead. I don't think he's internet savvy enough, technic savvy enough to figure out that somebody hacked his internet. You didn't use traffic heavy sites, so I don't think he would have noticed, especially since he works night shifts most of the time, as far as I understood it. And you pretty much only accessed your internet during the night or evening. So yeah, he wouldn't have noticed at all. But you went ahead and asked him, hey, you know, I can't pay for an internet provider, but I would love to have some internet. Can we share? He now knows that you were the one sharing his Wi-Fi. So Noriko, it wasn't well thought out at all. And come on, even if you accessed everything via his or over using his name, they could still track you down with your IP address and everything. And you now also have to access all these sites, so they can track down this factory as well. Oh, shocker, I know. But Noriko, your plan isn't as thought out as you thought, and I'm sorry, I am still distraught that the police is taking this long to find her. How can they not have found her yet? Oh well. Let's just continue. You're not off the hook, Noriko. You're next. And I can't wait for it to happen. And this game will finally be over.
Sure, if you say so.
But judging
That's all well and
by
good, but
the names of the
been
endings,
conducting a lot of work recently, since you stopped living in your apartment.
they won't get caught.
What's your point?
Been logging into Corpse Girl's website from here, from the factory. You've been accessing that database of the deceased, too.
Yeah.
Don't you think if the authorities trace that, they'll just come looking for you here?
I'm using my cell service to connect to the web. I'm not using a dedicated internet connection, and I'm running my connection through a proxy to mask my IP address.
Even if you're using a proxy, you're using your phone's internet connection. Your phone can be pinpointed. It can pretty accurately be located. Noriko! No! Stop! Stop deluding yourself. Please, stop deluding yourself.
That can't be traced, right?
Are you kidding me? I shake my head. I'm pretty sure it can be tracked. Not my area of expertise, though.
No, but I'd be cautious if I were you. The cops will figure out Kenji's not guilty soon enough. Just you wait. Normal guy like that, he won't be able to give them any of the information they're looking for. Won't be surprised if he gets released before the weekend.
So?
Hitting a dead end like that will only enrage the police, especially that detective, Fujikawa. Don't you think they'll redouble their efforts after that? They'll surely do whatever it takes to catch the true culprit.
Yeah, sure, I hear you, but Corpse Girl really isn't the one they're looking for. The human removal service is behind most of the recent deaths.
They don't know that. They only have eyes for Corpse Girl. You made her famous. Made her known in every household across Tokyo. She's as much at fault as the human removal service, and you know it. If they catch you, let's just say you won't be let off the hook so easily.
Noriko folds her arms across her chest angrily. Not my fault she doesn't want to hear the truth. This whole conversation has given me a headache. All my assumptions on the identity of the Herald led me to a brick wall. But I did glean one interesting piece of information from Noriko's words. A phrase that loops within my mind, verbatim. When Corpse Girl first told me to start killing, I rubbed my chin and thought.
Gotta go. You good here?
Noriko drains the rest of her coffee and tosses the can aside.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Right. Later then.
Noriko doesn't speak another word. I leave in silence. Got a few hours before I need to be at the morgue. Usual night shift. Not a good combination with an early morning. At least there are no deliveries to make today. For Noriko. Or for Corpse Girl. For the best. If Tomoe is quitting the business, we won't have a driver. Didn't really think that through when I encouraged her to go with her gut. Oh well, that's on Noriko. She's the brains behind the operation. A brain that doesn't function normally, so I'm simply the muscle, just like I always tell her. Corpse Girl told Noriko to kill people. Kojiro, maybe you should be the brains of this operation and then go down the drain like it is. That's what she said. That's what Noriko, what Corpse Girl, that's what the person I know as Noriko told me. That begs a follow-up question. If Noriko isn't Corpse Girl, then who is? Is Corpse Girl a person? Someone whispering instruction in Noriko's ear? Has that always been the case? Was I so blindsided by Noriko's ambitions for grandeur that I disregarded the truth behind her words? Is Noriko nothing but a puppet? Too many questions. Doubt Noriko will willingly spell it out for me. Not if she's gone to such lengths to mask the truth for so long. When Corpse Girl first told me to start killing, I can't get the quote out of my head. Too many moving pieces in this puzzle. Noriko, Corpse Girl, the Human Removal Service, the Herald, Junpei Matsumoto and Kenji Ogawa. Too many assumptions, too many shadowy figures. Makes me angry. Don't like it when I don't understand something. I'm clever, sharp, like to know everything, like to predict what's going to happen next, like to remain one step ahead of everyone I know. Right now, I feel 3 steps behind Noriko, behind whatever Corpse Girl is. Maybe Tomoe has the right idea. Maybe getting out of this situation is for the best. Though, could I really make a clean break? Could I really just walk away? Noriko isn't afraid to play dirty. That has become increasingly more evident, especially with the Kenji situation. If I walked, would I have to go on guard for the rest of my life? Would I have to be cautious of every shadow that flits in the darkness? Would Corpse Girl come to claim me as her own? That begs the question. If Tomoe quits now, will Noriko try to buy her silence with blood? She'll do anything to ensure her name isn't dragged through the dirt. Tomoe knows too much as me. She could compromise Noriko's entire operation if she lets the wrong words slip out in front of the wrong people. Because of that, I have to believe that Noriko won't stand for it. Tomoe's life will be in danger if she quits now. I don't know how. I don't know by what measures Noriko will strike from the shadows. The girl is weak of body, though strong of mind. And her ambitions are steeled by some otherworldly force of will.
Noriko won't let Tomoe walk away from this.
I'll be right back. I need a quick toilet break. Okay. Speaking the words aloud and hearing the echo throughout my apartment helps reaffirm the truth. I have to warn Tomoe. I don't know if it's too late. I don't know if she's told Noriko that she'll be quitting, but there's no time to waste. Use your phone?
Can I help you?
Tomoe in?
She's, are you a friend of hers?
Kinda.
Yeah. This is an emergency.
Really? Hang on. I'll go get her.
I wait patiently as the guy, I assume Tomoe's boyfriend, goes to fetch her. It's fairly late now. The sun is setting. I might miss the start of my shift at the morgue. This is more urgent.
Kojiro? What the fuck are you doing here?
Need a word.
How'd you get my address?
You
You know
follow
what?
her.
I'd rather not know.
Tomoe, who is this guy? Why does he smell like...
Long story.
Is he bothering you? Should I take care of him?
Right. My nostrils flare a little as I jerk back a laugh. This guy's pretty scrawny. I'm no martial arts champion, but I find it hard to believe he'd pose a threat to me.
Nah, it's all good. He's harmless. Mostly.
I see.
He flashes me an untrusting glare.
Need to talk. It's important.
Fine, come in, come in.
Him.
Point a finger at the boyfriend.
He needs to go.
Seriously?
Yes, come on. What do you think I'm here to talk about?
Ugh. Yeah, fair point. Shinya, can you, clear off for a bit?
Tomoe, I want to know what's going on here. Just who is this guy? Is he an ex-boyfriend of yours? Because I'll fight him. You just watch me.
No need for that. Not here to steal your girl.
Just listen to him, Shinya. You've no need to worry.
Fine then. I can tell when I'm not wanted. If anyone needs me, I'll be outside.
He'll be listening very closely. The boyfriend storms off like an upset toddler, and I finally allow myself to crack a smile.
What a catch.
Shut up. You don't know him like I do.
Okay.
Tomoe shuts the front door, leaving us alone in her apartment.
So what the fuck is this all about?
Need to know. Have you told Noriko you're quitting?
Nah, not yet. Surely you could have asked me that over noise.
Proms. Thought you might be in danger already.
Danger? Why?
Have a theory. Reckon Noriko will cut us up if we leave our merry band.
Nah. Noriko and I are besties. She wouldn't hurt me.
Don't act so certain. Noriko will do anything to protect herself. That neighbor of hers, the guy that got arrested, she set him up from the very start. Made him take the fall so she wouldn't become a suspect.
You're shitting me.
Dead serious. And
I take a moment to consider the best way to announce my next theory.
don't think Noriko's working alone.
Tomoe simply frowns at what I consider to be startling revelation.
Well, of course she's not. We're working with her.
Guess I didn't explain it well enough.
Not what I meant. Noriko. Noriko may not be the ringleader here like we assumed. She said, and I quote, "When Corpse Girl first told me to start killing," end quote.
Tomoe's silent contemplation convinces me that I'm onto something. Something that neither of us had stumbled upon previously.
Well, shit. I thought Noriko was Corpse Girl. She always calls herself that. In fact, she even admitted it to me once. Yeah, I remember it. I kinda suspected it and I asked her about it, and she confirmed it.
Sure about that?
Well, pretty sure, yeah.
Interesting.
Now I'm starting to doubt myself.
Don't sweat it. Noriko does refer to herself as Corpse Girl. I'm sure of it.
Right? I thought so.
But I'm still uneasy about it. Someone convinced her to start killing, and she seems to think it was Corpse Girl.
Ugh. I don't get it.
Neither do I. But I'll get to the bottom of it.
Right.
For now, for your own safety, don't tell Noriko you're quitting.
Seriously?
I don't know how she'll react.
What a drag. I really don't want to do this anymore.
Be patient. Give me a bit of time.
You sure you can sort this out?
Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating my confidence. I'm determined to learn the truth about Noriko and the identity of Corpse Girl. Maybe I can figure out why this all started, why Noriko is so intent on continuing down her path of destruction.
Leave it to me.
Thanks.
Later then.
I make my way to the front door and swing it open. I'm slightly startled when a heavy form stumbles into me.
Oh.
With his ear pressed up against the door, Tomoe's boyfriend couldn't avoid falling forward as the door opened. I looked down at him, sprawled on the floor, groaning.
You okay?
He'll be fine. Get up, Shinya.
He clambers to his feet and dusts off his trousers.
I was, just,
Gotta go. Bye.
Don't have time for this. I push past him and make my way out of the apartment complex. My late arrival at the morgue is not met by any form of chastisement. The place is empty, devoid of life, nothing out of the ordinary there. Though something is off. It's too empty. Glancing around at the walls of cold chambers, I immediately notice something suspicious. The majority of the chamber doors aren't sealed shut. They're slightly ajar, as though the last person to access them didn't close them properly. I would never do such a thing. I know to press the doors firmly enough that they lock in place. Leaving a cold chamber unsealed is a surefire way to assist in cadaver's deterioration. And an unsealed chamber allows the odor of decay to leak into the morgue. Right now, I don't smell anything out of the ordinary. Meaning, these cold chambers are empty. Someone has removed the cadavers that were stored inside. This place was full to the brim just a day ago. There wasn't a single empty cold chamber. Now, a cursory glance shows that a good 90% of the cold chambers are unsealed.
Fuck.
My initial sense of uncertainty gives way to panic. I jog towards the left wall of the chambers and start pulling the sliding trays out, one by one. Empty, empty, empty. One after the other. Each chamber is devoid of its macabre contents. Even the HRPs have been removed.
Shit.
I come across one cold chamber that is still sealed. I press the release button as I pull the handle forward. The familiar hiss of cold air escaping from the hollow space. Just little to allay my fears. Slide the tray out and sigh. Empty. It would seem that even properly closed chambers have been evacuated.
Oh, fuck shit.
I dash to the opposite wall, the rows of cold chambers that store bodies not due for cremation. The row that Noriko isn't allowed to access to. But just like the other wall, Every chamber is empty. Doors ajar, unsealed, empty. I thoroughly check each and every one.
No luck.
I trudge towards the computer at the far wall. Logging into the inventory, I scan through the list of recent arrivals and departures. No bodies came in today. Unusual, but not itself cause for concern. More importantly, no bodies have been checked off as removed from the premises. Each and every body that has disappeared from this place has not been accounted for. The correct protocols have not been adhered to. I can only draw one conclusion. The morgue has been robbed.
Sorry to rock up so late.
It's fine. I was awake.
Okay. Bad news.
Hit me.
Morgue's been plundered.
Plundered? What, are you a pirate now? Wait, your tone. You're not joking.
No.
Explain.
All the cadavers have been stolen. Cold chambers are completely empty.
Fuck!
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
How could you let this happen?
Me? I'm no security guard. Don't put this on me.
How am I supposed to acquire corpses now? How the fuck am I supposed to appease Corpse Girl?
Despite the fact she's having a Noriko moment, I don't miss the fear in her voice. Appease Corpse Girl. It's something you'd say if referring to yourself. She's clearly referring to someone else, some other being. Time to put her on the spot. Sick of always being 3 steps behind.
Who's Corpse Girl?
What?
Who is she?
Don't act dense. I'm Corpse Girl. If you're trying to be funny, it isn't working. Now isn't the time. We've lost everything, Kojiro. I've got a couple of bodies here at the factory, but they're allocated to victims already. If Corpse Girl gets any new requests, we won't be able to fulfill them.
There, you did it again. You referred to Corpse Girl as another person.
Can you stop messing around? Don't you see how serious this is?
I do.
I do. I see how serious this entire situation has become. Noriko is delusional. She refers to her Corpse Girl both as herself and as another person. She pays no heed to the difference in her words, even when called out on it. She doesn't seem to be aware that she's doing it. Could be personality disorder. Can't place blame on her if that's the case. But I think it's more than that. She believes she's being guided or goaded by Corpse Girl, forced to achieve her ambitions. There's more to it than a personality disorder. Something I'm not seeing.
So, what do we do?
What can we do? You'll have to break into another morgue. Start stealing corpses for me.
No.
What do you mean, no? Don't say no to me.
I'd do just about anything for you. But sometimes, you need to know when to call it. There's no moving forward from here.
I can't give up, Kojiro. I've come so far.
Somebody stole the cadavers from the morgue. From my morgue. Somebody who knows what I'm involved in. It wasn't an attempt to stop what we're doing.
What do you mean?
It was a message. Whoever did it wanted to prove that they are more powerful than we are. Pulling several hundred stiffs from a morgue, all at once, without getting busted? That's something even we couldn't achieve. Someone knows her operation, inside and out. Someone knows what we do and how we do it. And they wanted to prove that they can do it better.
The human removal service.
Who else?
Damn it.
Hope you can see the truth now. We can't continue with them in the picture.
You're right. Our next move is to destroy them. Destroy the Herald.
That wasn't exactly what I was getting at. I was only trying to discourage Noriko from continuing with her
What do
operation.
you propose?
You said you'd do nearly anything for me, right?
More or less.
Then... hunt down Junpei Matsumoto. Again. He needs to reveal the identity of his leader, the Herald.
Right. Didn't work so well last time.
Can't forget that night. Had the guy beaten and bruised on the ground. Stubborn. But
You were interrupted last time. Aoi got in the way, didn't she?
Yeah, tried to defend her boyfriend.
You need to extract information from Junpei at any cost. When you're done, kill him.
I have no problem with that. But if Aoi is present again, I'll have to back down.
a few seconds of silence makes me wonder if Noriko still has her head in the conversation. I'm about to repeat myself when she finally speaks.
If Aoi interferes, kill her.
And just like that, Noriko's true heart is revealed. She will stop at nothing to achieve her goals. I was right to fear for Tomoe's life earlier. I was right to fear for my own. If Noriko will cut down her best friend in the world, then she will show no mercy to anyone else. This kind of resolve, this steel-hearted determination, I can't help but admire it. I respect Noriko.
If I do this for you, I want something in return.
What?
Be with me.
You still want me?
Never wanted you more. I'm in love with you, Noriko. In case that wasn't clear before.
Okay. Take care of this issue for me, and you can call me yours. I'll be your girlfriend, or your wife, or your mistress. Whatever you want. My heart will be yours.
No, it won't. That's all I wanted to hear. All I needed to hear. I don't want to be alone anymore. I don't want to feel lonely. Noriko, Shizuko, even Tomoe. It doesn't matter. I just want somebody to love me. Hold me.
Okay. I'm on it. Leave it to me.
Thank you, Kojiro. I'm putting my faith in you.
I step back, turn around, look up, stare at the stars and the pollution-clouded sky. When we get together, perhaps we can live in Noriko's apartment. My old place. It will be like coming home after a long absence. Noriko will replace Shizuko in my heart, and life will go on. August 6th, Thursday afternoon. It's the same stakeout as last time. Junpei Matsumoto, in his infinite wisdom, posted no noise about visiting the maid cafe today. Don't know why he doesn't set his profile to private, especially after I followed him home last time. But I won't be following him again today. I'll confront him inside the maid cafe, a place where Aoi is unlikely to be, since she quit the job a while ago. Although, did she really quit? If memory serves, she was dressed as a maid last time I encountered her. It's not that I have qualms about killing her. In fact, I'm not even bothered that Noriko is okay with ordering her death. I'm just thinking about the future. When Noriko and I marry, we'll want friends and family to attend the wedding. Noriko will need bridesmaids, a maid of honor. I will be perfect for one of those roles. By sparing her life now, I can kick off my new life with Noriko on a high note. I'm aware other people will be present in the cafe. I have no intention of hurting them. I'll force as many as possible to evacuate, or I'll corner Junpei somewhere private. The dog himself arrives as I'm playing through possible scenarios in my head. He waltzes through the front door, completely oblivious to my presence across the street. I'll give him some time. Let him get comfortable. Lower his guard. The weight of the blade inside my pocket is unfamiliar. Not like it's so heavy that will restrict my movement, just feels strange. I figured it was better not to tackle this unarmed. It's an emergency measure. After 20 minutes, I approached the maid cafe's entrance. Not a fan of the atmosphere, and not a fan of the interior in general. Too fleshy for me. Prefer somewhere more simple, laid back. Yes, I agree, Kojiro. Junpei has a table near the far wall, alone. Not that I expected any different. A blonde maid trots over to refill his drink. He nods politely, but doesn't say a word. Hasn't seen me come in yet. Someone asks if I want a table. I don't respond. Someone else chimes in. Something about paying the cover charge. I don't know. My attention is on the dog. No one attempts to hold me back as I march towards my prey. He finally sees me, but I'm 5 steps away and it's too late.
What the?
Long time.
You're crazy, man. Get away from me!
Looking at him up close, he doesn't seem too worse for wear, considering our last encounter. I start to wonder if I went too easy on him.
Can I sit here?
Hell no! Get out of here!
Thanks.
I pull up a chair and sit directly across from him. The blonde maid from before offers me a menu. Then she gasps when I hear something shatter on the floor.
It's you!
Strange. I didn't quit her job after all. Did she lie to Noriko? Did Noriko lie to me? I'm 90% sure it's her, anyway.
Stay back, babe. I got this.
Yep, it's her.
Thought you quit?
Huh?
I thought you quit this job.
What? How would you know that?
I realize that I shouldn't spill any details on my relationship with Noriko.
Forget it.
Oh, you think you're hot stuff, right? Tailing me, beating me up. And now you're digging into my girl's business? The fuck is wrong with you, man?
Excuse me for a second.
I stand up slightly and lean over the table. Junpei recoils as my fist pummels his nose.
Sorry, had to do it.
I sit back down and wipe my bloodied knuckles with a napkin. Junpei clutches his face and sobs, eyes visibly shaking, standing next to her dog, unsure how to react. I don't know, go to the back and call the police? Shouldn't there be other people here? Shouldn't they be running out screaming by now? By some miracle, I don't think anyone else around witnessed the punch. For the best means we can get down to business without interruption.
Some questions for you.
You broke my nose!
Shush. Haven't asked my question yet.
I somehow gathers the courage to flee. I don't watch her leave, but I get the sense she's gone to fetch help.
What do you know about the robbery of the hospital morgue?
You know what you're talking about.
No, not the answer I wanted.
Junpei makes the mistake of processing fingers. I jam a steel fork into the back of his left thumb and pin it to the wooden table.
You're going to give me the answers I want. Am I clear?
You're nutcase. You're psycho.
No. For my next question, how did you find out about my involvement with Corpse Girl?
It seems that Junpei is carefully weighing his response for the first time. Instead of outright defiance, he wisely chooses to grant me a satisfactory answer.
It wasn't hard, man. You're not the most stealthy dude around, you know?
Explain.
You and that blonde gal girl, Tomoe Watanabe, we got cautious enough.
So he knows Tomoe's identity and her involvement. This hound is truly a liability.
It's not hard to tell you when you drive that hunk of shit van around town, dropping dead bodies off to Corpse Girl's targets.
He knows a lot. Way too much. How far does his knowledge extend?
I see. My next question, then. Do you know Corpse Girl's identity?
I think the real question is, do you?
I consider his words. Do I know Corpse Girl's identity? Beginning to doubt that. Had he asked me a week ago or two, I would have thought of Noriko immediately. Now, the way that Noriko has been referring to Corpse Girl, I'm not so certain. But I won't let this wounded mutt have the upper hand. I won't let him pry open gaps in my defense.
Wrong answer.
The only other piece of cutlery at hand is a metal spoon. I drive the slightly pointed rear end of it into the pointer finger on Junpei's already injured hand.
Corpse Girl's identity?
Fine. Noriko Kurosawa.
Interesting.
I see.
A hesitant tap on my shoulder from behind me causes me to turn.
Leave him alone.
I has somehow gathered a half-dozen other bystanders. They're all glaring at me, fists clenched, ready to try and forcibly remove me from the premises.
We're not done here. Come back later.
Let my Junpei go! Stop hurting him!
For an outwardly meek girl, Aoi has more courage than I expected. I stand up and stretch my neck. I'm not looking for a fight with a bunch of cafe patrons. Heaving a sigh, I dip my hand into my pocket and withdraw the knife. Flashing it in front of the mob says more than my words ever could. They all back off, a few letting out snivels of despair. I, either out of bravery or fear, holds her ground. A single watery tear welling in her left eye discloses her true feelings.
Leave. Everyone. Now.
It doesn't take more than this animalistic, primitive command to convince the crowd to disperse and rush for the door. Aoi is amongst the fleeing throng and she mouths the word sorry as she catches Junpei's eye. Satisfied that we will not be interrupted further, I return my attention to Junpei. He sobs vocally.
Don't kill me, man. I'll do whatever you want, you know? Please, I'm begging you. I've got my whole life ahead of me.
Relax. Only one more question for you.
What? What is it?
Who runs the human removal service? Who is the Herald?
I'm being completely honest with you, man. I don't know who he is. He wears this creepy-ass mask and never speaks.
Can't quite tell if the dog is being sincere or lying through his teeth.
I need more than that. Who would know his identity?
Shit. Look, man. The human removal service. It's only the two of us. Me and the Herald. He recruited me online, you know? It makes me do his legwork. So, if I don't know who he is, no one does. Except him, of course.
Not good enough. Not the answer I'm looking for. I lean over the table once more, keeping my knife clearly within the dog's vision.
Not happy with that answer. Pick a finger.
Shit, no, dude, seriously. Ask me a different question. Please, please.
Kojiro,
A voice I didn't expect to hear rings out from behind me.
Noriko.
enough.
Why are you here?
I overheard everything. It's enough information to use.
Is it?
Noriko strides forward. It's a little unnerving seeing her in the real world away from the factory. She's been cooped up there for so long. Her pale skin looks almost otherworldly beneath the cafe's gaudy lights. For whatever reason, she's wearing her best clothes. They're almost clean, as though she recently did her own laundry. She walks with purpose, one foot in front of the other, but her gait is unsteady and she's visibly trembling. At the end of her path, she rests her palms against Junpei's table and takes a calming breath.
You stole the corpses from the morgue.
No.
Yes.
Noriko doesn't miss a beat as she flashes her phone at Junpei. I can't see what's displayed on the screen, but the dog hangs his head almost immediately.
It was me. I robbed them all.
Noriko pockets her phone. She then tosses a small bundle of bandages onto the table. Bandages? Junpei hastily grabs the offering with his good hand.
Get out of here. Get Aoi to bandage you up. And not a word of this to the police.
Yes.
With a great deal of effort and a grimace, Junpei plucks the cutlery from his pierced hand and yelps. Idiot! Seriously. Everybody involved in these types of games get first aid training. I beg of you. Please. Not daring to remain in my presence any longer, he bolts towards the door.
We're just letting him go?
Yes.
Don't understand.
You don't need to.
Don't like that. Don't feel comfortable not knowing what's going on.
What did you show him on your phone?
Leave it, Kojiro. Put the knife away. You're leaving.
I obey her orders, returning the knife to my pocket. I follow her unsteady lead and we exit the empty maid cafe. Noriko gasps unhealthily as she quickly consumes her weight in water. With a loud swallow, she brings her sleeve to her lips and wipes her mouth dry. The empty water bottle clatters against the concrete and Noriko's gaze returns to me.
That's a bit better.
The visit to the maid cafe got the better of her. She spent too much energy intervening in the confrontation, but her motives for doing so remain unclear.
Fill me in.
There's no need to kill Junpei.
Why? He knows everything. Knows me, knows Tomoe. He knows... you.
Noriko hesitates, but she doesn't flinch at the revelation. Something tells me she already knew this much.
Junpei Matsumoto will be dead by sunrise. I made a request, Kojiro.
A request. The first thought that jumps out at me is that she requested for Corpse Girl to kill Junpei Matsumoto. But that's a ridiculous notion, isn't it?
I see. I don't think Corpse Girl can take care of him. He knows our whole operation.
Noriko's raised eyebrow conveys her confusion.
What? No, I didn't make a request through Corpse Girl's website. What would be the point of that?
I shrug, because I truly don't know what else she could have meant.
I used the other website, the Human Removal Service. I made a request for the death of Junpei Matsumoto.
Oh, but again, what good would that do? Junpei is an accomplice. If his colleague, the venerable, supposedly immortal Harold, receives the request to kill him, it will simply be ignored. Unless... startling realization dawns on me.
Shit, of course. Why didn't I suggest that?
A haunting smirk is inscribed across Noriko's features. She knows that I have finally drawn the same conclusion.
The Herald is ambitious. His convictions are strong. Absolute. Just like mine. Like Corpse Girl's.
Corpse Girl's convictions, huh? Corpse Girl would never reject a request.
That's right. Junpei Matsumoto is disposable. A pawn. The Herald will deal death to him in the same manner as any other nameless victim.
I see.
But more important than Junpei being killed is what we will discover in the aftermath.
Explain.
By knowing that Junpei is the next to be targeted, we can observe him and witness the Herald's killing method firsthand.
Ah, it's brilliant. Noriko has laid the perfect trap. By sparing Junpei's life today, we have set him up to be slaughtered by his own compatriot. And we can use his death as a means to uncover exactly how the Herald brings low his victims.
Have to add it to you. This is a pretty fantastic plan.
I know.
A few things.
You have doubts?
Not doubts, exactly. Firstly, how do we know exactly when Junpei will be killed?
Noriko sweeps her hair behind her ear and scoffs, as though the answer should be as clear to me as it is to her.
I specifically requested the time of death.
You can do that?
The Human Removal Service demands it.
Interesting. Second topic. What if you're wrong?
What?
What if the Herald isn't willing to kill his own ally?
In that case, it will prove something important. It will prove that we are dealing with a complete amateur. Someone whose convictions could never reach the strength of Corpse Girl's.
And just like that, Noriko reaffirmed my earlier suspicions. Corpse Girl truly would destroy her own allies in order to see her ambitions fulfilled. Tomoe, myself, our souls are shackled to Corpse Girl's own black void, yet we are not safe from her wrath. Should Noriko will it, our flames will be snuffed out in moments. We are nothing to her. Dirt, dust, ash. We will be blown away like the useless incinerated remains of a cadaver.
Understood. Let's uncover the secrets behind the Human Removal Service.
August 7, Friday morning. Another early morning, if you can't call it that. Haven't gone to sleep yet, so it still feels like late night. Noriko has me on a short leash. Think she knows it too. Apparently, she specified this as the place of Junpei's death. Don't know how she knew of it. This parking complex belongs to Junpei's apartment building. It extends 2 or 3 levels underground. Again, Noriko specified the exact location of the death. The human removal service seems to take user requests very seriously.
How much further in?
Shh. Keep your voice down. I'm just looking for a good vantage point that we can hide.
Her words are severed by a violent gasp. Unable to speak another word, she simply points. My eyes obediently follow the direction of her slender finger. It's Aoi.
Oh. Disappointing. Missed the main event.
Junpei Matsumoto is already dead. He's floating in a sea of his own lifeblood. Vicious stab wounds practically glow red along his back. After examining his remains, I turn my attention to the less interesting figure standing motionless beside him.
You.
The masked stranger looks like the villain from a B-rated slasher film. He's covered from head to toe in dark clothing, a zip-up jacket with extra long sleeves, a hood, and a skirt. The cut of the figure's clothes combined with his physique gives me the impression that he may in fact be female. Is this the Herald we've been searching for? The bloody corpse at her feet would suggest that it is so.
That mask.
The mask? It's simple. White. Probably porcelain. It's reminiscent of something. Some fictional character or maybe some film villain after all. The Herald still hasn't moved. She's as still as a statue, gaze vacant, her eyes impossible to discern behind the mask.
The Herald?
For the first time, the figure moves. It's a startling, jerky motion, like a mannequin or a puppet being pulled by strings. Her head cocks to the side and she seems to notice our presence for the first time. But an answer to Noriko's question is not forthcoming. Step up to the plate.
You really immortal?
The Herald doesn't react to my voice like she reacted to Noriko's. She has returned to a stiff, doll-like state. Pretty easy to prove if someone or something is immortal, and I've always had a curious mind. I draw the knife from my pocket and launch it at the mannequin. The blade embeds itself on the thing's shoulder, and she doesn't so much as flinch as a trickle of blood pulls around the shining steel.
Oh. Mr. Hart.
Kojiro, why did you do that?
I shrug and take a step towards the Herald, while Noriko tugs at my coat and holds me back. She takes my place and puts herself between me and the Herald.
Tell us who you are. We deserve to know that much.
Something in Noriko's words, the sound of her voice or the tone of her plea, causes the Herald to move once more in an acknowledgement. But the motion this time is quick, fast, calculated. The Herald moves as her sleeved hands to withdraw the knife from her shoulder, and she allows the blade to drop down to the concrete ground with a dull ting. Before the knife hits the ground, the Herald turns her back to us and breaks into a sprint.
Shit. Not cut out to chase her.
Don't bother. We won't catch up.
The Herald disappears in the darkness of the parking lot. We are left behind by the corpse, left standing by the corpse of Junpei Matsumoto.
Well, we didn't see the killing, but at least the request was granted.
She's right. Her gambit paid off. The Herald killed her own ally. She has proven her convictions are strong. I crouch down to examine Junpei's corpse, but it's hard to get a good look in the darkness. Regardless, it's clear that the dog is dead.
Should we leave the body?
Going to send a text.
Huh? Who are you messaging?
See if I can pull a few strings. Wouldn't mind if the corpse ended up at my morgue.
What are you planning?
Nothing. Really. Just want to prod and poke a bit.
Noriko's subsequent grunt is a clear indication that she doesn't fully believe me.
Do what you want. I've gained as much from this as I had hoped.
I let her trail off as I turn my attention to my phone. I swipe through my contacts and quickly compose a message to a few people in particular. If all goes well, an investigation team will shortly arrive to examine the scene. I'll be gone by then, but if my contacts do their jobs correctly, they'll haul Junpei back to the morgue. I pocket my phone and scurry towards the blood-soaked knife I launched at the Herald. It slides back into my pocket and I signal to Noriko that we should depart.
Goodbye, Junpei Matsumoto.
She waves half-heartedly at the corpse and lets out a childlike giggle. A scant few hours' sleep didn't offer much in the way of refreshment. Have to be at the morgue again in an hour. Not that there's much to do there, since the place was robbed. Perhaps a few more cadavers will have arrived. Perhaps Junpei Matsumoto's corpse will be there. I should take this opportunity to take a breath. Been a while since life slowed down like this. No requests coming through for Corpse Girl. No bodies to haul around town with Tomoe. No cadavers to catalogue at the morgue. Life should be good. I'm still alone. Noriko may decide to discard me at any moment. Why does that make me want her more? Do I want to prove my worth? My value? Prove to her that I'm worth keeping around? Don't know. Doesn't matter in the long run. After brewing myself a cup of coffee using the French press Tomoe gifted me, I take a seat in my chair. Sitting alone in the darkness is somewhat depressing, but it's only temporary. I won't be alone forever. Soon, Noriko will sit here with me. We'll be together in the darkness. I'll make her see my worth. I'll make her love me the way that I love her. I'll make her fill the void that she's left in my life. I'll make her treat the gnawing pain in my insides. I'll make her save me from falling into despair, from falling into old habits. Noriko will save me from myself, just like Shizuku once did. I take a sip of my coffee. It's still a little hot and it scalds the gap in my mouth where my tooth once was. It hurts, but I'll be okay soon. It's hard to hide a smile when plans unfold perfectly. The body was here, waiting for me when I arrived at the morgue. Staring down at the pallid corpse of Junpei Matsumoto fills me with more satisfaction than I thought possible. The dog is dead, and my early morning encounter with his executioner wasn't just some fever dream born from wishful thinking. His body is riddled with stab wounds, deep, clean, piercing cuts, but these injuries were not inflicted by a knife. I'm no forensic pathologist, but the wounds are too thin and too deep. Each intrusion is about the width of a chopstick. Doubt he was killed by chopsticks. No, you never can rule out everything. My gaze pans down his body, looking for anything of interest. The rest of his form looks ordinary. Nothing to note. I'll zip up the bag for now and return him to his allocated cold chamber. Might take him out once in a while to have a laugh. As I raise the zipper covering his legs and groin, I have to shift his arm to fit them within the HRP. And then I flinch. My hands instinctively retract from the cadaver. I'm used to the ice-cold touch of a body fresh from its containment chamber, the sensation of lifeless, preserved flesh. Thus, it wasn't the sensation of touch that caused me to startle. It was the sight of something out of the ordinary, something I'd somehow missed during my initial observation. Junpei's fingers. 5 thick, meaty digits on each hand. 10 perfectly intact, dead but otherwise healthy fingers. It was only days ago that I pierced 2 of his fingers, his thumb and his pointer finger, using cheap metal cutlery. I can't forget the distinct feeling of plunging those implements through flesh and bone, pinning his fingers to a table. The corpse before me shows no evidence of ever being injured in such a manner. Nobody can heal wounds like that without medical attention. Even then, stitches and scars will remain. But Junpei Matsumoto's digits are 100% intact and puncture-free.
Interesting.
Come to think of it, didn't I snap another few of his fingers in half that time I confronted him outside his apartment? I'm sure I did. Crushed the bones within my own fist. But this corpse's hands don't show signs of that either. Normal to the touch. No visible bruising. On a whim, I pull out my phone and open Noise. Navigate to Junpei Matsumoto's profile. Load a few profile images, swipe through them one by one. Put my phone right next to Junpei's head, comparing the similarities between Junpei's photos and his dead body. Everything becomes clear immediately. Certain elements of Junpei's features don't match. His nose is broader in photos. His lips are thinner, more taut. The corpse in front of me is not Junpei Matsumoto. It's a copy. A clone. Junpei Matsumoto's death was faked for our entertainment. The body lying on the ground in front of the Herald was planted there before we arrived. Planted to convince us that Junpei hadn't met his maker. The Herald did not kill Junpei. The Herald simply used one of Corpse Girl's tricks and produced a carbon copy body. All in order to fool myself and Noriko. As this revelation settles in my mind, I come to another conclusion. The morgue being robbed was no coincidence. I can almost guarantee that the cadaver used to replicate Junpei's death was stolen from this very place. A weapon of deception stolen and turned against us, and the morgue was targeted before Noriko even requested Junpei's death, almost as if the human removal service predicted Noriko's movements in advance. Is that even possible? All I know for sure is that the dog is still out there, still skulking around, working for his master. This is starting to get interesting. August 8th, Saturday afternoon.
Okay, I think I'm up to date. I guess it was a good thing you decided to prod and poke Junpei's corpse, as you put it.
Guess so.
I thought you were just being your usual morbid self, taking corpses for your own use, whatever that may be.
Don't know what to tell you.
Well, I'm glad you acted. Faking Junpei's death. What's their end goal? What did they really accomplish by pulling such a stunt?
There's a million possible answers to that question. Can't know the truth. Not yet.
Obvious answer would be that they wanted to deceive us. Make us think we have the upper hand.
I came to the same conclusion. They think they've fooled us. But we know better. Can we use that to our advantage?
Don't know.
Sometimes you're helpful, and other times you're just...
What?
Never mind.
Okay.
It irritates oops. It irritates when I withhold my thoughts. Sometimes I act like this just to elicit a reaction from her. She's cute when she's pissed off.
I don't know what we should do next. We're kind of at a dead end, right?
Kind of.
Corpse Girl's website has gone silent. No one is requesting deaths anymore. But if I'm to believe the news, there are still dozens of people being killed all around the city. Which means the human removal service is still as active as ever.
Don't beat yourself up. Don't have any cadavers at the morgue anyway. Can't exactly fulfill any requests.
True.
Oh. Not paying attention here. She sighs and drops her eyes. Despite her tired, exhausted appearance, she's dealing with recent events rather well. For Noriko, at any rate.
Can you let me know when the morgue starts filling up again?
Sure. Hang on. There is one body there. Fake Junpei.
Yeah.
Not much use, though, I suppose.
No, not really. Keep me updated.
Okay.
She rubs her eyes again and tries to hold back a
You
yawn.
look wrecked.
Sorry. Things are tough right now.
It'll get better. You caused some deaths soon enough.
My words have the strange effect of actually cheering her up slightly. I know we're not exactly the most normal people. The things we do, the causes we devote ourselves to, they are wrong. There's no other way to put it. I know this. I trust that Noriko knows this as well. We're morbid, sick, disgusting. Noriko slaughters innocent people in the name of Corpse Girl, her fabricated idol, or alter ego, or whatever else she could be. As for me, I've got as much blood on my hands as Noriko does. She likes to believe she's innocent, but the truth is that she's just as guilty as any killer. I don't see myself the same way. I know for a fact things I've done are enough to put me behind bars for the rest of my life. I don't try to convince myself that I'm something I'm not. I'm a criminal. Plain and simple. But Noriko is a kindred spirit. We are connected on some level that I don't expect the average person to understand. We are bonded by the things we've done, the deaths we've witnessed. Looking at her now, this tired girl, worn thin by stress, I can't help but be reminded of Shizuko. I messed up with Shizuko. I didn't take the time we had together seriously. I took it all for granted. I won't make the same mistake with Noriko. I'll make her mine and I'll prove my love to her every day. Perhaps that will convince her to not discard me when I've run out of use.
Want something to eat?
She glances at me and opens her mouth, but weighs her words before speaking.
Thanks, but you know me.
I know.
Of course, I know. I know so much about her. She doesn't eat, not unless she absolutely has to in order to live for another day.
Something light? A salad? I want to share a meal with you.
I can't.
Okay, I understand.
I do, I get it. It's Noriko. Her convictions are what I admire most about her. What would I say of a character? Of her character, if I could break her convictions with a simple invitation?
We should get married.
Huh?
A few days ago, you said you'd be mine.
I told you something like that, yeah. But that had a condition. You had to kill Junpei.
She's right. I didn't manage to kill him. Does that mean I don't deserve her?
Maybe there's something else I could do? Let me prove that I'm a man you can love.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
I'll take that. It's better than an outright no.
Maybe you should get going for now. I need to sleep.
Okay.
I'll leave her be. Should get some sleep myself.
Later.
Bye, Kojiro.
Something about the way she says my name sends a chill down my spine. It's not a pleasant sensation. It's not a feeling of elation or excitement. It's uncomfortable, disconcerting. Shrug it off and leave the factory. Huh? I have an uncannily vivid recollection of dragging Shizuko's corpse through the streets on the night she was killed. I had witnessed the collision. I watched speechless as the asshole who ran her down drove away like a coward. It took me a while to gather the strength to collect her crumbled body from the asphalt. By then, it was around 7 o'clock. The sun had set, but a sliver of light still peeked over the horizon, tinting the sky with an orange hue. People kept screaming at me. Wasn't doing anything wrong. Wasn't trying to smear Shizuku's blood on the sidewalk. Just wanted to take her home. She was hurt or dead. No point leaving her in the middle of the road. She didn't comment on my suit. Got all dressed up just for her. Didn't comment on the ring, even as I slipped it on her stiff finger. She didn't say a word about the size of the diamond. But she had a unique sound as we walked. It rings in my ears now and then, especially when I catch myself in quiet moments. Didn't know what it was at the time. It punctured the silence between my heavy footsteps. Turns out the sound was caused by the fabric of her dress, stretching and ripping against the coarse texture of the sidewalk. She made that sound for the entire journey home. My footsteps. Thud. Shizuku. People screaming. Ah! The cacophony of irritating noise assaulted us during the entire expedition. Silence didn't rear its head until we arrived at our destination. It wasn't easy getting her up the stairs to my apartment. I'd carried her in my arms dozens of times, always effortlessly, but during that final ascent, Shizuku's weight exceeded the limits of my muscles. Had no choice but to trek her up slowly, a single step at a time. Wasn't my fault her head cracked against every step. Once we were inside, I finally had the opportunity to examine the damage. Her limbs were flattened, her chest had caved in, ribs crushed and ground into fine dust. Remarkably, her beautiful face remained unmarred. She looked at peace, despite having died in pure agony not long before. And that was the last time I kissed her. I planted my lips on her and found comfort in the slight warmth that still remained. And then I closed her eyes. Are we gonna see her remains in his closet now. My memory of that event is so clear that thinking about it feels like I'm reliving it again for the first time. The pain hasn't dulled, but I'm glad I don't live in that apartment anymore. Climbing those steps every day would only serve to remind me of dragging Shizuku behind me. I cut myself free from the chains that shackled me to her, but I can never destroy the memories. I think they'll haunt me to the end of my days. Perhaps that's why I'm so desperate to fill the void she left in my life. I'm desperate to distract myself with the love from another. And yet, at that time, I didn't want to let her go. I wanted to hold her cold, lifeless corpse to my body and simply waste away so I could join her in the afterlife. In fact, I was so attached to her corpse that I did something I'd never done before. Not once, nor my history of toying with dead bodies. I decided to keep her. Don't know whether it was out of despair, or depression, or desperation. Don't truly know why I decided to do such an odd thing. Possessed by a single disturbing idea, I emptied out the small storage closet in that old apartment, discarded everything within, and then I carefully, delicately, lovingly placed Shizuku inside the dark space. She stood up against the wall, almost casually, almost like she was alive. I held her in place with some rope fast into the wall, a loop around her neck and a few bindings around her waist. She sagged a little, but it wasn't overly noticeable. There, Shizuku stood before me. Though her gaze was lowered, I could almost fool myself into thinking she wanted to greet me, or she wanted to simply say goodbye. Goodbye. Something I'd never considered saying to her. But I knew it was time. Time to say goodbye to her and to say goodbye to myself. The me that shared a life with her. The me that lived in the shame of the things I've done. Into that small storage room I piled the evidence of my guilt. All the macabre and sickening paraphernalia I had collected over the years found a new home within that dark space. Photos of corpses, tomes written about embalming and mummifications, countless books by Nobel Sinclair, that author I held so dearly to my heart. Everything and everyone that made up Kojiro found itself inside that room. And with one last look at the girl, I slammed the door and locked it tight. The ceremonial act of locking away everything I once loved had a cathartic effect. But the moments after that aren't as clear in my mind. I know that I sealed up the room and concealed the door, but I don't recall the effort that went into doing so. I know that I decided to leave the apartment behind, but I don't recall talking to the landlord. I know that I tried to move on from being the person I once was, but I don't know how much I truly changed. Because just over a year later, I'm still in this world, taking part in truly disturbing acts. I'm still obsessed with the dead, and I'm still fawning over Noriko. Maybe people can't change after all. Maybe I've been fooling myself all this time into thinking that I'm different now. But I'm not. I'm the same as I always was. I'm still just Kojiro. Maybe that's okay. August 9th, Sunday night.
Some good news for you.
Really? What is it?
A few new cadavers were in the morgue when I arrived tonight.
Ah,
Also, I was thinking...
What about?
Something funny. We went to such lengths to make sure we didn't get caught stealing cadavers from here.
And?
Well, it's amusing that the entire place was ransacked by the human removal service, but no one ever investigated. No one here seemed to really care.
We tried so hard to cover our tracks, being careful about every single corpse we lifted. Then those assholes just waltzed in and stole everything without any repercussions.
Yeah.
It makes me sick. I want to bring them down.
Yeah.
Anyway, how many bodies came in today?
4. Not a great deal, but a start. Give it a week or two, and this place should be packed once more.
Okay, good. Thanks for letting me know.
Of course.
See you.
Later.
Since I've already catalogued the new arrivals, I figured I can relax for the rest of my shift. I planted myself on the uncomfortable steel chair parked near the morgue's entryway. A few moments later, I'm lost within the flashing lights from my phone screen. Don't know how long I zoned out for, but when I come to, Noriko's name is emblazoned across my screen. Strange for her to call me now, since we spoke just before.
Yo,
You're not going to believe this.
try me.
Somebody requested a death!
Ah, that explains the excitement in her voice.
Congrats. It's been a while.
It's been far too long. I thought we were done for. I thought Corpse Girl's website had fallen into obscurity.
Happy for you.
Kojiro, we can't let this slip through our fingers. We need a victory here. This new request has to be fulfilled immediately. I want this victim to die with a bang. I want his death to propel Corpse Girl's name back into the limelight.
Roger. Awaiting your orders.
I'm sending you the Vic's photo. Get me a corpse that matches his appearance, just like usual.
Only got a handful of bodies here, remember? Going to be a long shot.
Do whatever the fuck you have to do.
Her icy cold command leaves no room to be misinterpreted.
Copy that.
The call ends and I immediately receive a message from Noriko. Opening it up reveals the photo of Corpse Girl's latest victim. Male, mid-30s or so, fairly unremarkable guy. Let's see what bodies are in stock. I heave myself off the steel chair and lock into the morgue's computer. Scanning through the inventory only takes a few seconds. There are 5 cadavers here in total, the 4 that arrived today, plus the Junpei Matsumoto lookalike. Looking through the details reveals that of the 5, 3 are female and 2 are male. I immediately rule out using the Junpei lookalike corpse for this request. It's a heavyset body and doesn't match the victim at all. I'll need to take a look at the other male, but I don't like the odds of finding a match. I navigate to the court chambers and open up the cache housing the corpse in question. The cold air spewing forth from the open compartment fogs up my glasses. I calmly remove them, wipe them against my coat and return them to their rightful place. After unzipping the body bag, I am met with the face of death. A sight I have become more than accustomed to after many long years working here. This guy is just as average looking as Corpse Girl's victim. Seems like the type of person you wouldn't notice in a crowd. He'd simply be a blur against the sea of bodies. Might be exactly what we need. I compare his features to those of the victim in the photo. He looks similar. Couldn't exactly mistake him for a relative, but maybe with a bit of Noriko's makeup handiwork, he might pass off as a close enough copy.
Huh.
Only one problem. Unzipping the body bag further reveals that this guy only has one arm. His left arm has been severed just below the elbow, leaving a surgical stump. It's something that he has clearly lived with for years because the area in question is clean. Probably had a prosthetic limb before being moved to the morgue. This particular feature is a deal breaker. Too hard to convince the victim that this is his own corpse if it's missing a limb. Although, perhaps Noriko could factor the missing limb into the cause of death. If I bloodied the stump a bit, it could be made to look like he lost an arm before he died. I reach for my phone and call Noriko back, getting sick of the chit-chat.
You find a suitable corpse?
Almost. Got a guy about the same age and build. Plain face. Needs some work, but could do the job.
Great! I'll send Tomoe over with the van right away.
Just one thing.
What?
The body is missing an arm.
Oh. That is a problem.
Yeah. Can you edit the corpse photo so that the victim is missing an arm? Make it look like it got chopped off before he died. That way, when he receives the actual corpse, he'll be expecting a missing limb.
No.
No?
I'm already in the middle of making the photo. I'm not changing it now.
Then I don't know what to tell you. Don't have any other suitable bodies.
Make it work, Kojiro.
That venomous tone again.
What can I do? Not going to roam the street and kill someone that looks like the Vic.
Come up with something else then. Hell, chop your own arm off and attach it to the corpse. I don't care what you do. But I need the body within the hour. If you let me down, I'll never be with you. Our relationship is tied to Corpse Girl's fate. If you let her down, you'll let me down. And I don't like being let down.
My phone beeps twice as if to protest Noriko abruptly ending the call.
Fantastic.
She likes backing me into corners. What am I supposed to do? It's clear that she doesn't really have any intention of being with me. She's using me, dangling the promise of something I desire right in front of me. And yet, I need to have her. I need to prove to her that she should be with me. I lower my glasses and gently rub my brow with my fingers.
Shit.
I've got an idea. But I can't believe I'm about to do this. Slide my glasses back up and adjust them so they're comfortable once more. Fetch the mobile mortuary lift and angle it underneath the tray protruding from the open cold chamber. With a great deal of effort, I detach the tray from the chamber. It rests upon the top of the mortuary lift, allowing me to wheel the corpse across the morgue. After pushing it halfway across the open room, I let the wheels come to a stop directly underneath one of the ceiling's glaring fluorescent lights. With that done, I turn and rummage around in a cabinet. I sort through a number of tools until I find what I'm looking for. Clutching the sterile implement in a shaking hand, I return to the corpse lying atop the steel tray. I roll up the sleeve of my coat.
For Noriko.
You're kidding me.
Here goes.
When the metal bone saw digs into the soft flesh of my arm, I have to grit my teeth to refrain from screaming. I angle the blade so that it cuts away from my elbow. I need to leave that intact. The cutting process is pure agony. To prevent myself from passing out, I keep my breathing steady and try to focus on something simple. Something my brain can handle while aflame with pain. I begin to count. 1, 2, 3. I count the seconds that it takes for the jacket metal saw to reach bone. 15, 16. Still just flesh and muscles and blood spurting down my coat. 20, 21. I think I reach linear after 24 seconds, but it's hard to tell because there's a terrible numbness that is somehow worse than the original searing agony. My fingers clutching the saw begin to slip due to the perspiration. It's getting harder to even hold the tool. After some 32 odd seconds, the saw hits bone. I slide back and forth, cutting into the dense matter with as much strength as my failing body can muster. Vomit and drool have soaked the front of my coat and begun to smear together with the blood. It's foaming a shadow pool at my feet. Forming, wow. And the stench of the mixing liquids threatens to overwhelm my senses. Counting the seconds that become infinitely more difficult. 43, 44, 30. Was it 21 seconds so far? No, it's been longer than that. It has to have been a minute by now. I've been sawing into my own arm for a full minute. The blade still hasn't cut through all of the bone. Don't recall when I fell to my knees. Don't recall when I stood back up. Don't recall running my slimy fingers through my hair, or when flecks of blood spluttered against my glasses, or when my bladder relieved itself. Don't even recall why I'm doing this. Is it for Shizuka? Is it because I love her? No. Noriko. It's for Noriko, actually. It's for Corpse Girl. I have to prove I'm worthy of her. I have to be loved by her. There's nothing else for me. 97, 98. As my count reaches 99 seconds, my right arm falls to the wet tiled floor, flopping like a dead fish against the deck of a boat. I let out a groan of what can only be called relief, and I slump in on myself, resting the pool of foul liquid. My vision is blurry. My breathing is ragged. The same part of my consciousness knows that I need to treat my wound. I need to apply a tourniquet or cauterize the damage, or I'm just going to bleed out and die on the floor of my own morgue. But a quiet voice in my mind, the very same one that drove me to such an extreme measure, urges me to finish my work. Getting to my feet is a struggle. I try to push myself up off the ground using both arms, but of course, I fall flat on my face when my right arm fails to react to my mental instructions. I think the lenses in my glasses smashed against the tiles because my eyes seem to be bleeding now. The second attempt at pushing off the ground is more successful. My left arm is somehow strong enough to hoist my barely responsive body. I sway and stagger around aimlessly before collecting myself enough to attempt to finish my severed arm off the ground. Luckily, I managed to grasp the blood and vomit-soaked wrist of my former limb with my one good hand. I drag myself towards the mortuary lift that holds aloft the corpse I need to attach my arm to. But I didn't think this through. I don't really know how to attach a severed limb. I bludgeoned the corpse's stump with my useless arm, trying to find some point of connection that will magically fuse the limb to the corpse. It's hopeless. And as I madly flay the arm around, I can't help but laugh at the whole situation. Of course I can't attach my arm to this corpse. The corpse is missing its left arm. I cut off my right arm.
Good one.
I throw my useless detached arm behind me and rest my weary body against the mortuary lift. Accompanying my laughter is the laughter of somebody else nearby. I have to listen really intently to commit that I'm not just hallucinating. But I'm certain that somebody just walked into my line of vision, even if they are nothing more than a dark, blurred silhouette.
Yo, bro. You don't look so hot. What'd you do? Cut off your own arm?
I know the voice, but I can't place it right now. It's not my voice, and it's not Noriko's voice.
Want me to take the pain away?
Yes, please. I'd give anything to remove the pain. I can't voice my consent. My mouth is dry, my jaw locked in place.
Here, nothing a little fire can't fix.
The figure comes closer. He smells foul, like a dog that has bathed in gasoline. A dog. The heavy-set figure that I now assume is Junpei Matsumoto is crouched over me. The smell of gasoline intensifies as he pours some sort of cold liquid all over my clothes.
Pity I gotta light this place up. But you guys didn't get the hint when we stole all of your corpses. Well, you ain't gonna be nothing without your precious Morn. And Corpse Girl is gonna wither away without her right hand man. Right hand. Get it, Kojimbo?
The way he deliberately mispronounces my name really bothers me. It bothers me so much that the anger boiling inside me gives me the strength to open my mouth once more.
It's Kojiro.
Sure, bro. Sleep tight.
The dog lifts his body and disappears into oblivion beyond my sight. The unmistakable sound of a match being struck should fill me with panic, but I feel strangely calm. Warm, glowing tendrils of flame flicker around the outskirts of my vision. Fire. The entire morgue is alight. The acrid smell of smoke quickly covers up the odor of gasoline. Fire. Lost my family to fire so many years ago. Maybe it's fitting that I should perish in the same way. Fire. I hate fire. I hate it and fear it. Fire. It's everywhere, surrounding me. The sickening stench of burning flesh permeates my nostrils, and I realize that it's the smell of my severed arm being incinerated behind me. Fire. I close my eyes. Really sleepy right now. Lost a lot of blood after all.
Sorry, Noriko. Sorry I loved you.
Act 2 clear. Alright. That was my call for today. I was hoping that it's gonna be shorter than the first one, but it has to be. Aoi Sato, Act 3. 1 month later. September 20th, Sunday evening. Oh, I'm so mad. And with these words, I'm gonna leave it. Well, okay, they're gonna make it obvious that Sato, Aoi, is the one. Shouldn't he be, I don't know, missing an arm now? And that she's the one behind the Herald. But yeah, let's see. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know, but since she gets her own act, I'm gonna guess that she is the Herald. Makes me wonder. As to how this is supposed to end, but oh well. I don't like this ending. Well, let's hope the next part is shorter. And I feel like recollecting and talking through it, but I don't know. That was kinda sudden. Him completely giving in to Noriko. Yes, he was obsessed with her from the get-go, sure, but I don't know. I would have hoped that he would have went a different route and instead, I don't know, killed somebody and cut off their arm instead of cutting his own arm off without even checking if it's the right one, stuff like that. He doesn't seem like the character that would do that. Yes, he would cut the arm off without question, but he's meticulous enough to check if it would fit, if it was right, if it, you know, at least that seems to be the case. So that seemed very out of character in a way. And it feels like Noriko's character changed a lot from when we played as her to Act 2. And yes, it seems that she has lost quite a bit of her grasp on reality. Since she's completely lost in her delusion of Corpse Girl. But she still cared about people before we left her, and now she's disregarding everyone that helped her, just thinking of her goals. I don't know. I seriously do not know. But oh well. Last part, hopefully, tomorrow. Let me check the Act 3 and then finale. Okay, so we have actually 2 parts left, if I see this incorrectly. If I understand that correctly. But oh well. Hopefully they're an hour long max, and then we're done. My voice won't be able to keep up if I have to read much longer than this. But yeah, as always, thanks for sticking around. I hope you enjoyed it, and I see you next time. Take care. Bye bye.